Yeah. Yeah. Chest thumping, boom like a baseline pound. King Kong stepping, make the whole earth bow. Banana clip bars, peel the truth, spit it raw. Silverback stature, no cap in my jaw. Swinging through the jungle vines like a mic cord. Fists like anvils, leave the ground floored. Coconut crack, that's a hard head dude. Wisdom in my eyes, but the knuckles stay cruel. King of the jungle, the crown fits snug. Beat on my chest, watch the whole world shrug. From the treetops down to the mud, gorillas the name and I'm royal blood. Bamboo feast, teeth sharp as a blade. Roots run deep, can't chop this shade. Treehouse throne, I'm the jungle's mayor. Banish hyenas, they don't breathe my air. Rumble in the canopy, thunder in the sky. Alpha move silent, don't need no alibi. Chest like a drum, it command respect. Banana Republic and my squad's direct. Call it a safari, but I'm the guide. Jungle GPS, keep my fam supplied. Enemies try, but they slip and slide. Mighty gorilla with the earth as my pride.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? What's going on? What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Flippin Tables on the Black Man Unfiltered Network. Guys, I'm glad that you're here. We're about to have a powerful show tonight. I got a new voice in the place tonight, man. A guy I've been following for a long time who has a lot of intellectual conversations online, so you'll know him when he comes up. But before they do come up, and I got another brother back there that's a brother from another mother, and all the other guys who are part of the BMU family, man, make sure y'all get in here tonight so we can have this conversation, because I think this is important for the community. Now, before that, I want to make sure we get some housing rules out of here. Make sure to support the channel, guys. Make sure you support the channel, because in order for us to do this every day, something's on this network. From Mr. Boomer, Flipping Tables, sports on Wednesday, throwback shows on Thursday, barbershop on Friday, man. We are in Sunday, the gray area with Mr. Bennett. You guys just make sure you support the channel, because it does take money to support the channel. And if you guys enjoy what you're seeing and you enjoy the entertainment that you are receiving and the words and all the stuff that we're building here and have been building for years, make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe button, share this with 2 people you like, 1 person you do not, and make sure we keep this rolling. And everybody that comes up tonight, make sure that you guys are following them as well, because we also, as Black people, we don't share a lot. We don't share a lot at all with each other. And I think that we were just talking about it backstage, how we need to support each other and not let likes and super chats send us to a YouTube hell where we can't even speak to each other, have a conversation with each other. So thank you guys so much for being here. I'm going to bring up the 2 guys that are going to start out the show as we go on. If you want to be a part of the show, the link is in the chat. If you want to come up here, your camera got to be on. I got to see your face in the place, because we got to understand what you're saying. All right. So I'm going to bring up my first guy here, my brother from another mother. Y'all done seen him over here a lot. We used to have a lot of great late night conversations in barbershop with the man who stands on business. He's a married guy. He has a family, ex-military. Give it up for my brother. Tyrus is in the building, man. Tyrus, what's going on, my guy? What's going on?
Happy New Year, by the way.
Same to you, brother. Same to you, man. All right. Last but not least at all. All right. Listen, man, this brother right here, man, he be on an intellectual level. He will take you to class and or go off on your ass. Give it up for yours truly, my brother from another mother, man. Philosophical is in the building tonight, man. What's going on, my brother?
What's going on, man?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, man. Listen, if I want to make sure we understand tonight, I want to start off by saying, asking you guys how you doing, how's your family. Tyrus, start with you first, man. How are you? How's the wife? How's the kids? How's your family, brother?
Man, family's good. We're just trying to stay warm. I just figured out what a snow quail was for the first time here in Ohio. So yeah, we're just trying to stay warm, man. How's your fam? How's your
man? Good, man. Hey, I also want to congratulate you, man, that Shador made the Pro Bowl. We'll talk about that on another day, though. Right. You know, you're a big Browns fan, so I don't know how you feel about that. Philosophical is in the building, man. How are you tonight, my brother?
I'm blessed, man. Happy to be here, man.
Absolutely. Can you tell people before the show starts? We're going to do it in the middle of the show, after the show, too. But tell people how they can follow you, man, on all platforms.
Basically at Philosophical on TikTok, on Instagram, Facebook, also. And yeah, YouTube is Philosophical Radio.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Hey, make sure you guys go and like, follow, subscribe, share the content. If you don't like it, share it anyway. Somebody will. That's what I always say. All right, now, guys, if you want to give to this channel, you see the super chat down at the bottom right there. You also see that the scrolling at the bottom of the screen, you see the cash up if you want to give that way. It says if that's easier for you. Tonight, we got a show, Code Switching or Acting White, the lie we tell Black culture. Philosophical, what are your thoughts on code switching in the Black community? 'Cause I know you're probably going to cook real hard on this one.
Code switching, like anything else, it's a time and place for everything.
Yeah.
And it's never what you do, it's how you do it. I mean, we all code switch. You know, the behavior I carry at work is not going to be the same behavior I carry when I'm out in the club. You know what I'm saying? But it's when we confuse these codes and make it seem like they're the law. No, it's just an adaptation to an environment. But when you try to take that other places and bleed that corporate mentality in an environment that should be vulnerable, that's when things get weird. So it's not really code switching, it's when not knowing when to and when not to code, in my opinion.
Tyrus?
I agree. And to broaden that point, I think a lot of times we struggle with when to turn that off. Sometimes we might bring that home or to work, and there's a lot of gray area in between there. It kind of happens, but we got to be a little bit more conscious about that overall.
Okay. All right. I appreciate that, brother. Now, the first question I want to ask you guys tonight, though, is code switching a survival skill or a cultural tax placed on Black people? Either one of y'all can jump in.
I think it's both, man.
Yeah, me too. I was trying to say the same thing.
You find every culture, ethnicity, however you want to break it down, it's got a certain, we'll say, style that flows in between subcultures and things like that, right? And so you could kind of say there's a code switching between Christians and Muslims, or there's code switching between Europeans and Americans, right? Maybe we'll probably talk about it today. Maybe there's code switching between Black Americans and those that are African Americans, right? It could be a lot of different dynamics to that.
Okay. What about you, Illa?
I mean, I agree. I feel like, code switching is something you have to do. That's just a matter of, it's just really adapting. You know what I'm saying? You just have to be, but it's a different when you change the culture of a person and the character of a person. Like that's when it gets weird, when the code switching infringes on culture and character, and I think it's just how people do a lot of things more so than the act of doing it. Like, I think we get so caught up in these words and these labels and these titles that we don't realize that words are just humanity's best attempt at explaining the phenomenon. You know what I'm saying? It could be what could be one thing. A chair can be a chair like you sit in, but it can also be a weapon. You know what I'm saying? To use like words are just words. You know what I'm saying? I think people just need to focus on what they're trying to conceptualize, because the words creates the division and the segmenting of each other.
Yeah, because I think that we see it a lot. And I want to go back just a little bit, because we definitely used to see it a lot with our grandparents. I don't know if anybody on the panel has got an opportunity to be around your grandparents or older people. But as far as grandparents go, like, you saw them code switch a lot. Like, they'd be at home and they'd have this different type of language. They'd be talking to you and it kind of, hey, goddamn it, and they get in public and they see somebody white or see somebody, hi, how are you? Hey, it's like a completely different person.
Even the body language changes.
Yeah, the whole damn thing changes. So I want to play this video. There's this guy who is he's a chef, a professional chef, and he has issues with, he said he's not going to do it, but I'm gonna let you guys see the video and we'll discuss it after. But he talks about code switching and how he's not going to do it. And he says, if he loses business or whatever it is, he's just not doing it. I'm gonna play this video real quick. We'll be right back. Here we go.
is a thing that a lot of people from other countries do when they come to the United States. I should speak like this constantly so you're able to understand every single thing I say so that you know that I'm educated and I am no threat to you whatsoever. I'm tired of that shit. Tired of it. So when I was growing up, I'd hear my grandma, boy, no, go get some scrimps from downtown. No, boy, go to the port, get them scrimps. We switch up because people are looking at you and judging your intelligence by that. So I can talk like this, speak all these languages, have open all these damn businesses, but I can't speak the way I speak. This is the direct connotation of my intelligence. I don't think so. I mean, a lot of cultures did that in the United States upon migrating here. You know, they lost a lot of their cultural identity because they needed to assimilate like 100%. A lot of light-skinned black people back in the day passed. Change the last name, drop an A, add an E, put an O. We're gonna make you just American. I'm just an old honorary black man at this point. I just don't do it, I'm not gonna do it. This is how I talk. So it's scrimps online, it's scrimps on my board. That's how I write it, that's how I say it, that's what it is.
Thank you. Hey, Arpine, what's up? Thank you for being here, man. Start with you, man. What are your thoughts on the video?
Are you talking to me? Hey, how you doing?
What's going
on, bro?
It's good video. Hey, listen, I think of course, we know code switching comes in degrees, right? Into your environment and shit like that. Right? Even though I was from Harlem, I went to Catholic school, and I've always been around mixed race. So the way I talk has been the way I talk. And I've said this before on this thing. I've always been the spook who sat by the door everywhere I worked, from my schooling, everywhere. Like I went to chemical engineering school in the 70s. I was like one of the only black people in the whole area, but I was also a member of a fraternity. I think I talked the same way to the guys as I did when I was in class. I mean, there's a couple of vernacular things I didn't do. But I do understand code switching, but who I was in my personal life was kind of the same as what I was in front of white people. And I say this, I said some things that the way they don't talk, but I really believe that I was more comfortable, I was as comfortable around white people as I was around blacks. That's just because of the way I was brought up. Yeah. And, and it's kind of funny because when I was in Texas,
you could drop that link on your side too, bro.
New York, and I'm gonna finish this. I was in Texas.
For your people. Yeah.
When I came back in New York and I landed on this one, I made a wrong turn over the Brooklyn Bridge. And I went down into Harlem, and it was like a culture shock because I haven't been around that kind of, so many, brothers, like that, at every light, people hanging on the corners with the white t-shirts and shit and all that. I said, oh my God, So, I just think there's various degrees. Code switching happens, but if you have to do it because you're worried about a job or something like that, I think that's when it gets kind of nefarious. Like Jasmine Crockett code switches, and she's getting a lot of heat for that because she's a very educated woman.
Hey, Ilosophical, what are your thoughts?
Yes, I'll let it there.
First of all, my mother's from Harlem, bro.
I'm from Harlem too. Yeah, I lived in Spanish Harlem.
Yeah. But I think the code switching thing, it just, like I said, it's just a time and place for everything. And I think the problem is people don't know how to turn it off, and the code switching bleed into how they deal with each other. Because I think where the lines get blurred is when we confuse manners and courtesy with code switching. Because sometimes our black people, we can get so caught up in the colloquialism that we don't realize that we can come off rude or disrespectful. And it's like, let's not act like having manners and being personable is code switching. Like that's when the conversation turned into, okay, now this is an ignorant thing. But I think a lot of times our people think behavior, having patience, and being well-mannered, we confuse that with being uppity sometimes. It's like, no, there's nothing wrong with still having because if you know how to pronounce the word, why just say scripts? I mean, now if it's a business that is people that's real older and they from that era and they say that, that's different. But if you know better and you're just doing that, that is ignorant. It has nothing to do with white people. It has nothing to do with anything. It's like we got to stop giving them, because when we do that, it's like we give them the monopoly on behavior, because it's a difference between talking white and just behaving with class and dignity. And I think sometimes those lines get blurred, these conversations.
Awesome translation. Welcome to the show tonight, my brother from another mother. And DL Saint, what's going on, my guy? Tyrus, I'm gonna get you in here, man. What are your thoughts on the video, man? What the older guy was saying?
We're gonna work with DLC.
If he would have just kept it as a marketing tool, whatever. But the fact that he's trying to make it more than what it is. And then what's crazy is like sometimes we'll use real history and accurate history for like wrong conclusions, right? Because I'll use one that's so you know, we keep it cordial. I'll use an outside group that this applies to, code switching. When he was talking about how how Black Americans had to change their last names a lot of times depending on where they was moving. Polish people, before they were considered white, they would have last names, you know, typical something ski, right? Like Majowski or something like that. A lot of times for them to fit in and in order to get educated, they would Americanize their last name and then their last name would change to Majors. So that's just an example of how you would have to code switch sometimes. Unfortunately, part of your identity just to fit in with the crowd. You know what I mean? So, you know, a reality it's one thing. Him marketing it, it's another thing.
All right, DL Saint, welcome to the show tonight, man. What are your thoughts?
What's up? Salute to everybody on the panel, man. Brother Lost in Translation, man. Yo, he's putting out some music on his platform that's just fucking killing the game. Before we get into this, I just want to throw that out there, man. Get the brother his flowers, man. But hey, this thing with code switching, I'm in my mid-50s. I can remember back in the late 70s into the 80s, especially like the late 70s in elementary school, where the kids would tell me, man, you over there talking like you white. Because I came out of a private school and then had to go to public school with some stuff that was going on with the family. And bro, like the code switching thing, man, like it's like what everyone was saying, like, you know, when in Rome kind of thing, or it could be a networking thing, or it could be sales. Like you want people to be comfortable, so you're going to adjust to the room. But when I was a kid, man, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I stopped fighting. I just like, you know what? I'm just gonna talk to everyone else. You know, I'm not gonna ask you for anything. I'm gonna ask you. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna, if that person was killed, I'm like, he got killed. Like I know what a kilt is. Right, but the young brothers and sisters with me in the public school didn't. Right, so there was times when that would lead to you basically stifling yourself and hiding, your knowledge. I remember there was a time when Xavier University came to I went to school in Cincinnati, Ohio. So Xavier University, right, came to the school. Our school, they brought their pep band and the jazz band, and they were asking questions like, what is it when one musician is playing an instrument? What is it called? I knew the answer, right? People were saying all these things they didn't know, and I had one of our hood dudes sit next to me. Shout out to my man Loki. I said, it's a solo. So Loki throws his hands up. Solo, right? And they kept going, from solo to duet to trio, quartet, all the way up to quintet. So finally, the people on stage. You could do this back in the early 80s. People on stage was like, you don't know the answer to these things. Who is giving you the answers back there? Because they couldn't see me, but they knew I was sitting there. Then everybody starts pointing at me. It was me. And they brought me out and pulled me to the side and like, you shouldn't hide your knowledge. Don't be afraid to hold up your hand. And I'm like, y'all ain't got to walk home this afternoon. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like fighting today. So I'm going to give them the answers and let them say whatever. But that code switching thing, I think it stifles a lot of young people, and they stop, showcasing their gifts, and they begin. It's actually a code switch, isn't it? You're going from being able to speak the Kings or whatever we speak over here in America to using the hood lingo, and you're no longer going to continue that line. Like, I'm just going to go ahead and conform and code switch and just use this hood stuff. So it could work either way. I just think that, first of all, I think this is a great conversation to have, but I want to hear everyone else's opinion on this as well, man. I think, we code switch as adults because it's appropriate for what we're trying to do. But as kids, you might be forced to code switch because you're tired of getting picked on or you're tired of fighting.
All right. So we got Lost in Translation in the building. We got John Galt, man. Thank you for being here, man, coming up on the panel. Lost in Translation, then we'll have John hop in there. Go ahead, Lost. What are your thoughts?
Here's my thing. Most of the time, when people code switch is to make everybody else feel comfortable. You know what I mean? I've seen situations where you can be of a certain level of intellect and people will be offended by that. You see what I'm saying? So most times when we do it is to make other people feel comfortable so we can continue the conversation. There have been several situations where I've entered into a particular room and people didn't think that I should know something just by looking at me. You see what I'm saying? And if they really didn't know who I was or what I was capable of, then they wouldn't do that. So most of the times we do that to protect other people. I can remember a couple of times, man, going to different classrooms or meeting people in different places. I remember one restaurant I went to. I met up with a few friends of mine, and they had this piano sitting outside of the lounge at this hotel. And of course, you know, they were playing on it or whatever. And then all of a sudden, I sat down and started playing Moonlight Sonata in D. And they were amazed. And it was like, well, you didn't tell us you know how to play the piano. I said, you never asked. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes your genius doesn't reveal itself until it's that time. And I think a lot of times, most times, we don't reveal our genius to other people because it makes them uncomfortable. So I really think that when we start talking about code switching, it's one of those things where a lot of times people think it's to dumb ourselves down, but more than likely it's usually to protect the feelings of other people because sometimes they may feel that they're unaccomplished or what they're doing is not special. But at the end of the day, we all have something that we're good at, and we really shouldn't shy away from that. But that's how it is, such as life. Most people do that to protect other folks and not so much as themselves.
All right, man. We got John Galt. Then I got another question for everybody. But John Galt, welcome to the show tonight, man. What are your thoughts on what you've heard so far or the video that we played?
I'll be honest with you, I didn't see the video, but I make my money in the hood. I would say 85-90% of my revenue comes from Black people. Ghetto-ass Black people, working class Black people. No rich Black people, no Rolex wearing Blacks. Working class Blacks. And I think from that standpoint, I don't have to code switch. Hell, I'm talking to people who wouldn't even respect me if I did. Now, I'm a software developer too, so when I go up in that world, I got a code switch. Be somebody else, talk to kings, English. And I think that, you know, and I'll give you an example of what I mean. I'm living in the ghetto. I live in Southeast DC, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. The only businesses that were open during this snowstorm were Arabs and Chinese and whoever the hell own businesses. Those are the businesses where you don't have to code switch, but the Blacks have tried to elevate themselves above that. Now they got a code switch. And I think that's the problem. Like, I'm really curious to know, and I'll yield with this. What percentage of you guys' revenue on the channel, I'd love to hear your answer, is generated from Blacks? I'm just curious to know. Not a job. I'm talking about like going out in the ghetto in the streets, selling them liquor, beer, cigarettes, whatever the hell that the majority of Black people buy, clothes, shoes, rent. I'm their biggest bill. I'm the landlord. I'm the biggest bill. Before they pay their Anton Daniel Patreon subscription, they better pay me first, or they be out on the street listening to Anton on their phone. So I'm just curious to know, what percentage of you guys' revenue do you get, your income do you get from Blacks?
Philosophical, you can answer first and we'll go around.
Not a whole lot. I guess it depends on who buys what the product that for the company I work for. But I guess content-wise, I feel like Black people support me in that realm.
Yeah.
As far as my 9 to 5, it's a range of people. I can't just say it's all Black, it's all white. It's just the average middle class or less person.
Lost?
None of it. I'm just being honest, man.
Tyrus?
I guess 13%. You know, I'm 100% P&T from the VA, and I get my money from the stock market. So, 13%. That's what makes up this country, right?
Payne?
Well, when I was working, none of it, other than taxpayer money, I worked for the Department of Defense. I tried my hand at entrepreneurship, and it would have probably been like a 50-50 split for what I was trying to do. But most of my whole life is I worked. You know, that's it.
Did you work for the government? If you don't mind me asking you, because I
Yes,
live here in
I was.
Washington D.C. Did you
No,
work
no,
for the government?
I was in New Jersey,
But
Texas.
you work for the government, though. You work for the government?
Yeah, Department of Defense. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, DLC.
I'm retired FAA, and I'm 60% disability with the VA. That's going up here pretty soon. And then of course from podcasting and from coaching and just entrepreneurial stuff, I would say less than a third. And I'm never in the hood. That's one of the, I'm very rarely in the hood. But I would say less than a third.
Okay.
Has my point been made? These are all very intelligent men. I was in the liquor store today, immigrants, Somalis, I don't know what the hell they are. They're making money. It's the most profitable thing you probably can sell in the ghetto now. Alcohol, beer, cigarettes, staple products, things that don't spoil. Blacks don't have any entree into that market. I don't see them. They think they get smart and they can go and do some greater things. I don't know what they think they can do, but they're doing about 40% gross margins, or maybe a gross margins, maybe, I don't know, in some of these corner stores. And the blacks have ceded to higher ground, which many of them are not intelligent enough to compete in that realm. That's my opinion. I was a software developer for 30 years. I probably can count on two hands how many blacks I worked alongside. And if you ask me to differentiate between the blacks and the Caribbeans, it would be even less Black Americans, the FBAs or whatever they call them. So you got to cast down your buckets where you are. Got to cast down your buckets where you are. I rent the blacks every day in Washington, D.C. Some of these blacks in the audience probably, oh, why he said blacks? Whatever. But I rent the blacks every day in Washington, D.C., Southeast, whatever. I'm one of the few landlords that will rent to these blacks. I take phone calls on my channel from Africans. Think about this. Lowly Africans. I know this is how you blacks think about them. And they say, I don't want to live around no blacks. This is how low the black reputation is. Trust me, I see it every day. I document it every day. And that's why all of you blacks on here can't make any money off of them for whatever reasons. That guy next to me said he don't even go around them.
So let me ask this. Anybody else want to respond to what he just said?
Well, I think
Go ahead.
Are you a
Arpain, then philosophical. Go
There
ahead.
you go.
I
There
think
you go.
I mean, you know what? You know what's funny?
He's like, what'd you say about the dope man? Was he a dope lord?
You gotta let me
Let
speak,
him
man.
finish, John. Let him go.
Yeah, because I wasn't going to criticize you at all. I mean, I just think it's circumstance that I didn't make money off of the community. If I would have started a business, I'd be targeting the American people. I would not limit it to just black. If I was a businessman in that way, what the funny thing though, John Galt, half the people. Wait a minute, man. You got to
hold on, John. Let him finish.
And I'm gonna land it here. The funny thing that you call yourself John Galt, because there's very few black people know where you got that name from. So what is that a code switch?
It's just a book I read years ago.
Well, but is that a code?
Don't read that much into it.
No, I'm just asking you.
As I came here to explain to you, you see me, like, I can smoke and drink all day.
Okay.
And my tenants, the one who depend on me for rent, I ain't got a code switch. I don't give a damn. They don't give a damn either because I got that dope. Real dope. I'm their biggest bill. Before the blacks go out and pay anybody else, they better pay me. Trust me on that.
Okay, so let's get philosophical. Let's get philosophical in here. Philosophical, go ahead and respond to that. Then we got Trey in here, man. What's up, my brother Trey here? Philosophical, go ahead and respond to that. You muted, brother.
Yeah, I think first of all, you have to code switch in the hood because different blocks got different dialects, different hoods got different way they talk. So I don't know how deep in the hood you are to even know that aspect of it, but it's different when you're dealing with it from a landlord aspect than dealing from a tenant or someone who's actually of the neighborhood, not somebody who's making money off the neighborhood. That's for one. So code switch is not necessarily selling out And if you're saying that having not to, like I said, sometimes the lines are blurred because the examples that you brought up as far as even, because you're seeing so many mixed messages. Because on one hand, it's like, you know, you're advocating for owning land, and that's very, we definitely do that, especially if we can rent our own. So I hear that message, but there's also a condescending tone about Black people in the same breath. So it's like you're advocating for rent, and then it's funny because the more you speak, the more I realize how you view Black people, and you don't care about the human in them. You care about the consumer in them. You look at Black people from the same perspective at these other races. That's why you keep bringing them up, because they don't look at us. They dehumanize Black people and look at them as strictly consumers. And you have code switched, ironically, to that mindset of people who look at Black people as strictly consumers. Mm-hmm. That's why the businesses that you even brought up for us to even integrate in, because there's people that's integrating in holistic lifestyles and juice bars. And, you know, it's not the most popular thing, but it's businesses by Black people. There's two in DC. One of my favorite ones is called, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's called New Vegan on Georgia Avenue. It's a Black-owned spot. It's awesome, vegan food. So Black people are investing in things like that. You brought up alcohol. Alcohol is literally poison. So for you to even use that as an example of what we need to invest in, that's something that we shouldn't invest in. If anything, we should definitely invest in things that our people want, but everything that they want is not what they need. So alcohol is basically legal drugs, legal crack. So for that, because I remember you was on my panel, I think the other day, and these examples that you bring up of the type of Black people, you bring up stuff like buying cigarettes and buying alcohol. It really speaks to a deep ignorance of what you think Black people are. And the only aspect of them that you deem profitable is the diagnosis of sickness that they have. And you want to garner off of that. And it's really a sick perspective to have, because it's a lot of ways you can profit off of Black people without killing them. And it's unfortunate that at your age, that's all you can offer. But, you know, that's cool, though.
If I may respond, this is a typical Black response in that he goes into criticizing me. I'm just looking at the world as it is. I look at the immigrants that come into our neighborhoods and they sell Blacks the things that they need, the necessities. We agree. I much rather prefer to Blacks drink water, but they don't. They drink alcohol. They drink sodas and stuff like that. I'm in the stores with them when I see them buy these things. You can see this on my channel, so you know I ain't lying. I live in Brooklyn. I think you live in Brooklyn. You used to live in Brooklyn. I live in Brooklyn too. See, I live in DC and New York, and I live in Crown Heights, the Ralph and Buffalo. You know what it is, right? You got an idea.
I'm not from New York. I'm from Jersey, man.
Somebody from New York, you know. And I'll never forget, I was in the corner store in the height of COVID. There's a 12-year-old boy slinging beer, malt liquor, whatever you want to sell, no mask at the corner of Ralph and Buffalo to Blacks, Arab boy or something. And I said, damn, like, the Blacks could be here doing this, but here's an Arab boy, and they may be sending money out of the country, who knows? And you got to accept the world for as it is. If you own the liquor store here, you could be there to try to tell them stop drinking so much.
So if we're supposed to
accept, if you don't own the liquor store, no one's there to even intervene.
John,
you know?
If we're supposed to accept the world for what it is, the statistics show right now that the entire country, which includes Black Americans, are drinking less. So why would you recommend to Black Americans to open up a business that might be a failing?
Well, people are drinking less in the aggregate, but not maybe down on the level. See, like, here's the thing. In my neighborhood, there's one liquor store.
You on deck, Trey.
In your neighborhood, there may be 3 or 4 liquor stores. So now they got to split the revenue amongst a smart group of people who are cutting back on alcohol. Over here in the ghetto, I'm on Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. These people ain't cutting back. They ain't read the statistics that you're talking about.
So John, hold on just a second. So Trey want to respond to your comments as well. Trey, what do you got for me, brother? Go ahead. And welcome to the show, man.
What's good? I don't know if I necessarily want to respond. I mean, he's entitled to whatever opinion he may have. However, I think if you get around some white folk, you'll see that we're not that much different when it comes to alcohol and liquor and cigarettes. I happen to live in a white community in Howard County, Maryland. I'm from DC, born and raised in DC. I see them hanging out in front of alcohol, liquor stores like Junkies, just like I would see in the hood in Southeast DC.
No, you don't see that.
I see them running their numbers.
Don't lie like that.
I see them running their numbers just like I see dudes in the hood running their numbers. I see crack and PCP and what's the other thing they had? Here's the thing.
Let me ask you a question, my man. Since you're close by me, I can make you some content. You want to make some content?
No, because I'm not interested. That's not how I make my money.
You anybody want to make some content? I can show you.
Hold on. John, you cut him off
right now, bro. My bad. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry about that.
At the end of the day, this whole code switching thing is necessary. Like I said, I'm from DC. You can't go into meetings and interviews saying area and Maryland. You can't do that. It won't work. It won't work. Just plain and simple. You sound ignorant. You look ignorant.
But again, my man, what I'm telling you is, I've been smoking and drinking all day.
It shows.
And I've been dealing with blacks all day. And now one of these blacks who said, Mr. John, you're not talking like a white man. I need you to talk respectfully. Like I said, I call one of my tenants right now. I bring him right here on the panel. And he don't give a damn if I'm drunk, high, whatever. He gonna pay his
because that's landlord.
Because I ain't got a code. See, but the difference what I'm telling you is I ain't got a code switch. Right? This is all my money. This is 100% of my money.
Did you
I beg your pardon?
Did you buy those dwellings cash where your tenants live at? Did you buy them with cash?
I ain't buying cash, but they can't afford them either. So they
so that means that you took out a mortgage for those.
Right, bro. Don't get in the mortgage.
He wasn't drunk and high when he was taking out that mortgage and having
even drunk and high. Even drunk and high. Hold on. Even drunk and high. Hold on. Even drunk and high, bro. Trust me. You don't want to get in the mortgage talk with me because I work I worked for like 4 years. Hold on. I'm gonna give you a little bit of my background so you don't get over your skis. I want to give you a little bit of my background.
Please don't.
I want to give you a little bit of my background. I'm gonna let you talk. Go ahead. Get over your skis, bro.
Where we go? Hey, John. How does this work? Because I'm trying to be
John, you derailing the conversation. We're not talking about mortgages. We're not talking about any of that.
Yeah, they ain't gonna do that.
We want to stay. No, we ain't gonna bait nobody. Ain't trying to get nobody to talk about no mortgage. Trey ain't stupid. So what I'm saying to you is that we're derailing the conversation. Welcome, creator, to the show, man. What's going on, man? Black Patriarchy is in the building. Appreciate you, brother, for being here. But DL Saint had something that he wanted to add to the conversation that's about the conversation. And then Philosophical, we'll come back to you, Laos. We'll go back around the room. DL Saint, what are your thoughts?
So there was the bit when I said, like, I don't go to the hood, right? And anybody on the panel understand and probably respect this. I'm living in Florida. I'm not from Florida. I'm from Cincinnati. When I'm back home, I'll run through whatever hood because I know all the codes and I know how to move at home, right? And I know my people at home. I lived in LA for 25 years. Like, well, I'm in South Central, or if I'm in Pacoima, if I'm in Watts, you know what I mean? If I'm in Inglewood, you got to know how to move out there, bro. I didn't live in them places either. But we're talking about, the question was who has done business with, like, what's the percentage of black people you're doing business with? About a third. But my business isn't conducted in the hood. I do a lot of coaching, right? I do a lot of networking events. You got to come to me, right? And yeah, every now and then I might do something, on somebody's block, but that's not where my money is. But, just that whole point, man, it's like, I'm in Florida, man. This is a Second Amendment friendly state, and I know how to move. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Why? Because that's what I grew up in. And, I want the best for my children. I want the best for my daughter. So, we're going to live where we live. But I don't take that as it's like, I don't mess with our people. And then I kind of like I'm listening to what you're doing, and I'm like, all right, bro, like you doing what you do, man. Get your money, man. But what's the difference between you and the Iranian or the Iraqi or the Somali? You know what I'm saying? What's the difference?
What I'm trying to explain to you is
the difference. Hold on, real quick. Difference is, like, hold on, before you come in, John, because I know you're gonna be a minute. The difference is we from here, and how can you work? How can you go in, buy cigarettes? Your granny bought cigarettes. Your papa and them bought drink party all these years, and then when you get the opportunity to get in a position to serve your community spirits, all of a sudden we black power. But tomorrow you're gonna walk in there. We're gonna have graduations. We're gonna have all kinds of celebrations, and we're gonna purchase liquor. And that liquor is going to be seldomly owned or purchased from black people. So we can't get in these spaces and be like, well, one career is more admirable than the other career. At the end of the day, we men, we fathers, we leaders, and how we generate revenue is how we generate revenue. Now, these other people out here generating revenue from us don't have any moral compass, right? When we wake up tomorrow and go get hair, liquor, food, whatever it is we getting, it ain't most majority coming from us. So I feel where we coming from, Illa.
No, listen, man.
However, hold on, John. Hey, but I'm almost done, bro.
Sorry, John, don't cut nobody off, John. We let you speak.
I got you.
Go ahead and finish, bro.
My bad. I'm seeing super chat right now for interrupting, man. I'm really sorry about that.
Yeah, you good, man. Hey, I'm actually trying to, you know what I mean? It's only two of us in here thinking like this. Everybody else probably feeling a little differently. And then Trey, ready to come in and you know what I'm saying? So this is crazy to me. To me, this is when we ask people to come up to the chalkboard and do a math problem. Instead of doing the math problem, we demonize the math problem. Instead of coming up and saying, okay, all right, it's my turn to come up to the math board and explain. Instead of me explaining, I cause chaos, right? I do everything but explain the math problem, right? The teacher didn't ask you about the social construct of the math problem. It just said, explain the math problem. Now, for those in the room that understand the math problem, great. But those that don't, right, that's where sometimes we may have to get a little deeper. That's why I say, hey, if I don't understand something, I'm cool enough at 50 plus even to humble myself with our rich asses, right, and get more gain, right, from those in fields that I've never touched foot in. I want to hear how to get liquor flipping in my area. I want to hear my man's Trey. If he's in real estate, I'm in real estate. I want to hear exactly what your strategy is, right? So that I can win. Same with DL. Cold Rain Road can be brutal, up and down. You understand? When you in Cincinnati. You hear me? So yeah, we absolutely should come to these spaces. I don't think to demonize, but to share the knowledge that we have, right? If we can utilize it, great. If not, salute the win.
Like, let me explain to you guys.
But I'm curious, just real quick, if I can ask this question, just real quick, brother, when you go to make that $100 million real estate deal in wherever city, maybe it's a 4 or 5 city deal, are you going to code switch in the sense that when you come in there talking, you're going to talk like you're in a barbershop or you're going to talk like you're in a boardroom? I'm just curious.
Yes, because I do that now. You know what's most important about any deal? I got you, John. Hold on. You know what's most important about any deal are the facts. When I come in, I talk just like I talk now, right? I don't use a lot of S's. And the reason I can do that is because a lot of, just like John and myself, we use our income. Because that's the reason I had to do that, because that lane switching, them lanes you talking about, AI and a lot of those jobs don't want people like myself in there. It's challenging. So, and I got bills to pay while I'm trying to fill out applications. So guess what? I got to make something shake on my own. And when I discovered that $200 a day, if I made it or I go work for somebody else, it's still $73,000 a year. Well, it made sense to me to go make my own $10, $20 bills.
If I may add, man, right, you know, and I'm a little bit, you know, I've been drinking, I've been smoking. But, you know, what I want to say to you guys, I know where I was going with this. And again, I have a finance and a software background. So I'm going to try to give you some game. How many of you are familiar with gross margins? Does anyone know what gross margins are?
Yes.
Right? Right. And so you understand if you are valuing a business, one of the statistics or data points you would look for would be like the gross margins of a business. Right? Right? That's a very important. Right? Am I wrong? If I'm fucked up and I'm drunk, correct me.
Yeah.
You speaking
Gross margin is very important, correct?
because you are
Gross
buttered.
margin is
So
very important. Am I wrong about that? If I'm wrong, I'll stop right here and we somebody else discuss. Gross margin is very important, correct?
Don't be too buttered, John, because then we gonna lose
Yeah,
focus.
no, it's
Go
gross
ahead,
margin.
speak your piece, bro.
If you were gonna buy a business, if you were gonna buy a business right now, if you were gonna buy a business right now, what statistic would you look for to buy that business? I'm asking you.
I'm looking at the gross margins.
What would it be? It'd be gross margins.
That's the first thing that I'm looking at.
Okay. So now I'm asking this
I'm
question.
looking at overhead.
Okay. No one else answered the question, so we have to go with your answer. What businesses in the Black community have the highest gross margins?
I thought we was talking about code switching, bro.
We was, but
I'm trying to get you away from code switching. So you know that's what we're talking about.
That's what the topic is, bro. We're talking about code switching.
Hold on, John. Yeah, we going into a finance class, brother. We want to kind of keep it. You know what I mean? I get where you're going. I do, but we want to stay.
You just did it.
I'm just saying, like, the reason why you code switching is because you can't get after the highest gross margins in your own community. You're the only group that can't do that. See, the other groups, they can go down in your communities and they can sell you cigarettes, they can sell you beer, wine, all these things.
And so why we connect the dots with this conversation? You know what?
Hold on, John. We're gonna get back to code switching because that's why we're here. I know we got let me just say this. We got Brian Jehovah in the building. Arpane, go ahead.
Guys, they don't have to code switch to deal with us. They're just who they are. They don't give a shit, and they open their businesses just as they are. I hate niggas, and you're gonna buy shit from me anyway. And so the problem is, so I'm just trying to connect the dots to bring us back to code switching. We should examine the reason why, as Blacks, we have to code switch in the first place.
I think I just explained it, and I don't think you.
Hold on, John. The question, because the next question was going to be that. The next question was, why is intelligence, articulation, emotional control often labeled as acting white? So that's the next question. So, Arpane, we'll start with you and go up through the front, then go down to the bottom. Pause.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. I mean, it's not my reality of worrying about, when I was in Harlem and all that kind of stuff, I didn't worry about acting white. Shit, I was marginally intelligent at all. I didn't get smart until I got older. But the point really is, so many Black folks have that peer pressure that when they're around other Blacks, especially in the hood, they gotta lose a little bit of themselves in order to survive, and that's disappointing. And there's not enough other peer pressure to say, listen, don't worry about that. Like I said before, we have this bifurcated community, whatever, such as it is, where we have Blacks who are on one side of the tracks, and we have Blacks on the other side of the tracks. And our problem is that there's so many people in certain part of the Black community. There's no what you would say influence to try to break that mold. And most of us get out of the hood because we have some intestinal fortitude and some is just luck. And I think the too much of the luck part, when somebody asks me why I didn't join a gang and all this kind of stuff, we don't have enough. I can't give them the explanation because on a panel discussion, you don't have that much time to get the little nuances. But part of the reason why I didn't go that way is because I saw too many of my friends go that way. I said, that's just not for me. And the other true part of it is, I was a chicken shit. I didn't want to do some of the stupid shit they were doing. I just didn't want to do that. And so it's too much luck in our community when we make it, as opposed to people who are planning out their life so they can be prepared to succeed as they get older. And that's the thing we have to fix. And maybe code switching is a part of that problem we have. Trying to impress people, and when we're around each other, I think a better example is like a Jasmine Crockett who thinks the only way she can get to us if she talks like a ghetto girl. That should make everybody mad.
Yo, Payne, I understand what you're talking about, man. Because, like, just for example, I grew up a military brat on top of being in the military, and so I think Trey knows this, man. We grow up having to pronounce our words, everything correctly. You know what I mean? Is everything strict? Like a strict timeline, all this kind of nonsense. And so sometimes when you get into certain spaces, they'll be like, well, why you speak white? Well, wait, is speaking proper, speaking white? You know what I mean? And so I get sometimes where you'll see, okay, well, speaking proper in, like, let's say you working at, customer service or something like that, compared to how you talk at home, how you talk, at a family function and things like that. I understand that, but Payne, a lot of the times what gets me is that we'll attribute code switching to hobbies. Like, we'll say snowboarding's a white person thing, right? And so, you only snowboarding because you're trying to be white right now. Why can't somebody a black dude just like that shit? Or
play hockey.
Like EDM, you know what I mean? Or like hiking or mountain climbing, that kind of stuff. It's not really code switching. It's like sometimes we attach the label incorrectly.
That's some white folks shit, though. I mean, it's just that, it is, and it's okay. I'm just saying it, but that don't mean you trying to be white. It's just some white folks shit.
Just a hypothetical. As a matter of fact, not even a hypothetical, a real example. Would you tell the black people that born and raised in Kenya, when they go hiking in their own country, they're acting white?
No, I would not. You know why?
And what are we talking about?
Because they're around themselves. They're around their own people.
It's nature. It's outside.
My point, I get it. I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just simply saying, again, but to your point, it's not wrong, but it is white folks shit because we haven't like, you know how they take our stuff and for some reason it's ours, but for some reason it's white folks shit now. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, John.
I'm sorry. My bad. I'm sorry.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So we would take those things, right? And when we now popularize it, it becomes ours. And so now it's not, but it is for right now because they are the majority population indulging in that activity, if that makes sense. Where we are here, right? We ain't talking about Kenya or any of the Africanized countries.
So a white person. Let
me jump in, man.
A white person born and raised in Kenya, and now they go hiking. Are they trying to be black or be Kenyan?
This is what I'm saying. Like, this is what the blacks.
Hold on, John. Hold on.
Let's mind this out.
Okay,
let's mind this out. Let's see if this logically fits. If a white person now, because the white person's a minority creator, the white person's now a minority in Kenya. If by your own logic, is that white person acting Kenyan or acting black because they're now hiking in Kenya?
Well, it's different because they hike. It would be different. It would be the same for you. It'd be the same for you. Hold on. Here is different, brother. So we're talking culture now. And you trying to, I'm not trying to prove a point. I'm just simply speaking.
No, I'm just trying to mind it out.
Yeah. So since you proved a point, let me put a point out here too, right? To support my argument, right? If you went hiking, statistically, even the men on this stage, and you said hiking, boating, canoeing, going to the festies, as you know, I do these things. I'm just telling you. So because I do these things, I know exactly what they are. I have no problem with it. It's white folk shit. I'm around a lot of white folk, and there is sprinkled pepper in there. It's
proximity.
Hey, black man. Black man, can I say this?
Everybody else. And up north, people will say that's white people shit. Like if you were in Pennsylvania, people think hunting is white people shit. But not down south. A lot of blacks hunt.
It's okay. if we indulge in each other's cultures, but it's not. It's
No,
like we're not going to try to act like
culture. That's your culture too. If you're
but what we do here in America is just what it is, bro. Now I can't. You're not getting ready to go to. You're not going to go nowhere. And if we all look at it a certain way, they say, "Hey, that's black people stuff," or "That's white." That don't mean we can't indulge, but it is what it is. That's Mexican stuff. That's what they do over there. If I'm a samurai, am I trying to be black or am I trying to be like the samurais? And what culture predominantly practices samurai?
Okay, hold on just a second. Hold on, guys. Hold that thought. Let me get these super chats out the way. Thank you, Urban Landlord Clips. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks for having me. The Anger Man is in the building. Anger Man, if you want to come up, man, the link is in the chat. 999 super chat. He said, "You're not talking when you speak proper English. You're actually talking when you use slang and broken English."
That's correct. He's correct.
Yo, what I would say, man, honestly, the blacks, and
Jeff, you on that?
And I'm including myself.
Brian, you after Uncle Jeff.
Like, what's comfortable, what's natural to you? Again, you see me smoking and drinking. I deal with my tenants like this, the whites and the blacks. I got some good dope, but nevertheless, I don't have to code switch. I do this all day.
You already said that.
You blacks, hold on. You blacks, you got to get up and go in the office. We've already cleared it that most of you blacks can't make your money or don't make your money from other blacks. If you made your money from other blacks, you could talk a little slang. You could smoke a little weed. Hell, most blacks smoke weed. You could be a little lax with your customer service. Hell, most blacks understand that. But when you go into the white man world, now you got to get to a level where most of you blacks probably have a hard time fitting without a lot of extra effort. I ain't put in no effort to be black. Nigga, I'm black. Through and through. It's easy for me. I know what the blacks want. I can sling that dope to them because I know what they want. I know how they want it. It's very easy, and they ain't tripping about me showing up.
I know you don't come fix pipes when it's cold.
But I guarantee you, my dope hot because it keeps selling. You can call me what you want, but my dope keeps selling.
Well, we know
all you run your mouth, the dope keeps selling. I bring one of my tenants right here on the stream. You ain't got no dope. All you done said, I can't make no dope from the
co-sign this right now, bro. You can co-sign the whole time.
Hold on, John.
Go to co-sign that.
John, we got Uncle Jeff in the building right now.
Nobody got no dope here.
Hey,
John, hold on, John.
You understand that's a level.
Now, Uncle Jeff, and then Brian. But Uncle Jeff, what do you have to say to Mr. Galtman? And John, let him finish his statement before you jump in. Uncle Jeff, go ahead.
Yeah, and peace to the chat. I'm just asking that while I speak, everybody be as grown as I was while they were. Everybody here done been to court, and everybody here shut the fuck up while the judge is talking, which means that when you interject while other people are talking, you're making a conscious choice to be disrespectful. With that out of the way, I really clearly do not understand the pressure put on the ability to speak the king's language, to speak the king's English. You know, the shit they teach in 5th grade. The pressure put on me because I can also talk to the niggas because I'm from 60th and Damon in Chicago. I don't step away from either. And I don't allow either side to ridicule me for either. Take a very good look at the You Talk Black crowd. Take a good look at the people you concerning yourself with. Most of these people don't have good credit, passports, or cars in their own name. This is who you're discussing, who you have disdain from. And fuck them. I don't have any concern for if you really, and I have said this for decades. I'm the most militant individual I know. And any Any knuckle dragging ass porch monkey that wants to test my blackness can meet me at a library and we'll see whose ass is the blackest. With regard to the question about the samurai creator, I think and I'm gonna ask you if you have a passport, and if so, have you ever been to China? Because the first samurais on the earth look like you. This concept and this is what I feel is disingenuous of the whole panel, to act like creator is not hitting on something when he says, when what he is basically saying is that the demographic that makes up general stores where you can go buy a white water raft, those stores are made up predominantly of white rural males. Let's stop pretending that most bears don't know what niggas taste like. Let's stop playing all of this trying to jump around like all of you have relatives that always, yes, I will bet that most of us here have relatives with basketballs. Most of us here probably don't have relatives with honest to God climbing hooks. We don't. Can we pretty please with sugar on top put a little integrity into this and say that there are certain things that are predominantly done by certain groups of people because of culture? There's nothing wrong with admitting that. And on the other side of it, fuck anybody there. I don't know nobody. I don't know anyone. Well, I speak both languages. I don't know nobody I respect that ridicules me for being articulate that can help me do shit but fight or move. I'll leave it there.
All right. Brian Jehovah is in the building tonight. Brian, what are your thoughts on what we're talking about tonight, my brother? And what you heard
I wish I would have caught the beginning of y'all conversation. Can you give me like a cliff notes of everything so I can answer the question correctly?
Yeah. So we're actually talking about code switching. And the question I just asked was, why is intelligence, articulation, or emotional control often labeled as acting white?
That's a good one. I'm gonna say this. For me, I'm gonna speak for myself. For me, I understand that my language would not fit in certain spaces where I go to in life, right? So I always keep certain type of people around me that can articulate themselves better than I can, you know. I know there's black spaces where I know if I want to get a contract or do business with them, I know I can't come over there and talk to my people in a speaking of slang, you know, talk slang to them. But that's just how I talk, you know what I mean? But I'm aware that I got a friend or I got a homegirl that I know that they can articulate themselves and talk to certain demographics of people, certain type of people in a certain stature that I need, you know what I mean? So yeah, I think code switching is important. I don't see nothing wrong with it, especially if you want to get some money. You know, if you want to go with the white folks, and I know I ain't finna wear no suit and tie. So guess what? I'm gonna send one of my partners over there that I know they can fit in that type of lane. You know, I don't have no problem with it. So even with certain, you know, black bourgeoisies that I know out here in Dallas, I know goddamn well I can't talk to them like I talk to my partners on the phone. So I got to come with them with a certain type of respect, a certain type of angle, a certain type of I hate to use the word, but meekness a little bit, so they can feel comfortable with me, so I can get them contracts. So by me knowing that, guess what? I'm gonna holler at my boy. I say, hey man, can you do this for me? Boom, he gonna get over there because he know how to carry himself better than I could. So I don't have an ego with it, and I think code switching is kind of important in the way you want to get some money. And I'm gonna leave it at that.
Philosophical, did you want to jump back in there?
I don't know,
I see you over there balling, bro.
I mean, it's just the conversation got so derailed, and I'm not gonna do what they did and make it about how I felt about what they did. So it's done. But yeah, I think like I said earlier, code switching has a place. You know what I'm saying? And even in the depths of the hood, there's code switching in the hood. You know, different blocks got different ways, different things. Like code switching is not just a white and black thing. And I think when people talk about these certain topics, they're so caught up in the surface layer of what the word is that it ultimately show the limited dexterity of their brains. Like, you know what I'm saying? We're talking about our people buying and selling, you know, alcohol. It's like we can do that, or we can get our people to not even have an appetite that these people can't feel, because they're not selling nothing but bullshit. They selling weed, they selling alcohol. It's like we don't have to drink all the time. I'm not saying you don't drink sometimes, but that's what I'm saying. This generation of our generation, they're drinking alcohol less. So alcohol is we're going to indulge in it, but it doesn't have to be something that we overindulge in it. And the reason why these people are making money off of certain appetites that we have is because of an overindulgence on something. So it's not even a matter of not having access to own this, but people, it's other things you can own. You can sell things that are for the betterment of your people. And just because it don't make the most bread right now, that don't mean that it's a bad thing, because at the end of the day, you don't know what every man needs to feel content. Like one person might need 5 million, somebody else might need like 250 a year, 300,000 a year. And they feel like, hey, I'm making 350 a year off a holistic herb store versus somebody who's making 2 million a year off of alcohol. It's like, at that point, it's subjective. So ultimately, when we jump so adamantly on these topics and we so apt to speak our opinion, we really show our ignorance. You know what I'm saying? Because we definitely should own things and help each other. But if the only thing you can do is relate to the lowest version of black people, I don't think you even know black people at all.
Ooh.
Damn.
Ooh.
So before anybody else go,
can I respond back?
Does anybody want to go after that?
I want to respond. Yeah, I want to respond.
Hold on, John. I want to play this video real quick. He's a celebrity or whatever, and everybody knows that he code switches. But I'm gonna play what he said and how he said he felt, how he got comfortable code switching. Here we go.
This term code switching, which is that you adapt to the cultural environment that you are in that moment. Your movements, your speech, the way you speak, syntax, everything. And I felt some kind of justification when the leader of the free world was also doing it. Once I saw Obama doing it, it put me in a position to go, oh, actually, you know, it's interesting. Everybody does it.
Thoughts?
Well, not everybody.
Well, one of the reasons why everybody does it is because it's a form of, listen, this is more about confidence than anything. You don't want to look stupid when you're having a conversation with someone. And so if you are trying to negotiate a deal, if you are trying to interview for a job, if you are trying to network, you will code switch based on the atmosphere that you're in. If you're in a nightclub and networking, it's going to be completely different. I play golf. I ain't playing no golf right now because we got a winter storm that just came through the East Coast. But in the summer, when I play golf, I have a completely different conversation on the golf course than I would somewhere else, because the atmosphere, the people are different. There is my frustration with this, because I dealt with this a lot growing up. I didn't go to the hood high schools in DC. My mom sent me downtown DC where, you know, senators' kids and stuff was going. So there were white kids there. The schools were mixed. And you have to speak properly. You have to be able to communicate back and forth. They are not going to understand the conversation I can have with black men versus conversations that I would have to have in those schools. They don't do that. I teach a stock market class for the youth on Mondays. When I was trying to get the space was owned by a white man. I cannot have the same conversation with him that I can have with everybody else. I had to talk to him in his language and explain to him why I needed this space and what I needed it for. And I had to break it down in terms that he understood. I can't just say, oh yeah, you know, I got a couple of young niggas gonna come through, wanna learn how to make some money in the markets. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. I had to explain to him that this was a teaching opportunity for them to further enrich their lives, to learn how to make moves in the market, learn how to buy stock and sell stock, learn options, yada, 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 yada. And to which that was a language he could understand being a businessman. He could get that. So now we're on the same page. And he's like, oh, you know what? I think that's a great idea. As a matter of fact, I won't even charge you. You know what I mean? Like the whole idea of code switching is simply so that we can communicate with one another. That's all it is. And we have literally demonized Black communities, demonized Black young boys because he don't sound like he hood all the time. It's ridiculous.
Anybody? Let's see. Lost of translation. You want to hop in?
Yeah, man. I don't know if y'all remember this a couple of months ago. The young guys were switching up from being YNs to wearing quarter zips, and they caught so much flack behind that. But in the end of the day, a lot of guys saw it as an opportunity to have the rest of the world look at them differently now. You know what I mean? Instead of being destructive young men, they wanted to be constructive young men, and they would walk around with machas and their quarter zips. You know what I'm saying? And people actually looked at them a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? So I think code switching is one of those things where it's a PR problem. You know, think about it. Whenever you say Asian people think mathematics, that type of thing. Whenever you think about, you know, white folks, they'll be like captains of industry, that type of thing. But when you say Black folks, you know, you really have to start having an intelligent conversation, because if you really think about it on the surface level, the news and the TV will tell you something completely different. But if you do your research on it, we're the ones who created mathematics. We're the ones who are really the captains of industry. You see what I'm saying? But it's a PR issue. Back in the day, before they had the internet, there was a saying that used to have, you know, say it loud, I'm Black and I'm proud. And they used to have sayings like, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. You know what I mean? Whenever, you know, Black kids went to school or whatever, there was a certain level of pride being Black and intelligent back then. But ever since TV got a hold of it, they want to play us as a certain role. Anytime you have a Black father that plays a Black father on TV, they want to play something wrong with him. Anytime they would have something wrong, like Cosby was probably about the only guy who was one of those guys who was successful that was on TV or whatever. Then you have guys like Uncle Phil, you know what I mean? That type of thing. That little range of men, those guys were positive viewpoints of Black fathers. And then when we got away from that, they start removing them. And all of a sudden the story began to be weaved a little bit different. Now Black men are deadbeats. You know what I mean? They're shiftless and all this other stuff, and they're lazy. And we ain't never been any of that. You see what I'm saying? It's a PR issue. So I think that we get back to making it comfortable for Black men to be the face of intelligence. And I think that's when we'll start moving in a different direction, instead of looking at Black folks as if we're some type of cattle, you know, to pay our rents and all this other stuff, you know.
BMU, one of the things that I wanted to kind of mine out with the code switching topic overall is, you know, everybody made up good points, but then one thing I kept hearing or kept on asking myself is, you're so used to code switching, at what point do you start losing who you actually are? Because let's say now you enter a room, do you actually know how you speak when no one's around? Do you know how you speak when only someone's around? Right? Like, at what point is the code switch just a personality swap?
Can I chime in right here at some point?
You know what I mean? Like there's a line there.
I'd
right?
like
Because
that.
like, for example, like, do I only like this kind of music or these kind of music or this kind of music when I'm around this kind of people? Or do I like it all the time, regardless of who I'm around?
So I think Uncle Jeff want to respond to that. Go ahead, Uncle Jeff.
Hey, let me ask a question before Jeff gets in. Let me ask a question.
Hold on. Jeff is going to respond to you.
Just ask the question.
But maybe Jeff can, you know, answer.
Uncle Jeff is going to answer his question first,
but
then
Jeff,
you'll get your question. Go ahead, answer Uncle Jeff.
If you can answer my question in your response.
Now, whose turn is it to speak?
Your turn, Uncle
Jeff. I would love for you to answer my question.
No, I'm not, because you're speaking out of turn.
Okay, fair enough.
There's grown ass men in here.
Dumbass.
It's either your turn to speak or it is not.
No, you yours. Go right ahead.
Thank you. With regard to this whole concept again of I'm sorry. I lost my train of thought. I wanted to answer the brother's question about not losing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That, and I'm gonna say this with as much love and respect as I can, that's not even a Black problem, that's an American problem. Because if you go to any other country, Most people speak 3 or 4 languages. We the only dummies. I ain't felt stupider than when I was in Germany. Holy mother of God. You want to feel stupid. You take your ass out of this country. The concept of only being able to relate to one people, and if you can't, you are somehow abnormal. I'm going to tell you where I believe this is coming from. I believe it comes from the Jasper-ass shade tree house coons that I don't believe any of us can stand. These are the people who go out of their way to capitulate to European culture. Those people get looped in with intelligent brothers who happen to speak the king's English correctly, who happen to be able to speak over the phone.
Yeah, I'll take over for a second.
With no clue of their ethnicity. I am one such a brother.
Can you break that down for me further, please?
What do you mean?
The different, like getting lumped in.
Okay. Because there is a demographic of brothers who hate black people, who can pick out, who can tell you that there are demographics of people they cannot stand. And because they go out of their way to whitewash themselves, those people are different than Brother El Hajj Malik Shabazz, better known as Malcolm X, who was very articulate and very intelligent, but was not at all a capitulator. I don't like them capitulating, boot licking ass. I can't stand them cats. I get on with both. I'm cool at a dice game or a meeting in the Oval Office. And in the name of those brothers, I think they get lumped in, and that's unfair. And that's where you get this feeling of being ostracized by your own people, where I like to code switch back the other way with both. I'll get in a meeting with white men and speak their language and then break it down funky style for a couple of sentences and get back into their language. Because as a black man, I'm a master communicator if I take the time. It's just most niggas got lazy brains. And it's usually the lazy brain niggas that's giving you grief about how you speak. And fuck them.
I'm in, I'm out. I learned. I'm in, I'm out.
Jeff, can I ask you a question on that?
Hold on, brother. I'm in, I'm out.
Whoever, yes, sir. Whoever.
No, my question is how much of this is just professional speech? Because I was in the military for 8 years, and I have to have, if I'm speaking to my superior, so to speak, or the person who outranks me or my supervisor or whatever, I have to speak in a certain manner. Like I can't, you know what I mean? Like how much of this is just professional?
It's military bearing. And Trey, a quick derail, and then I'll shut up. Trey, is it just me, or do you have a problem communicating with civilians because they can't tell you 50 yards, a mile, 3 feet left? They can't give directions to sit on their hands.
Can I ask a question if you don't mind me? If you don't mind me, you know, just like I asked a question earlier.
Cubic inches.
Here's my question.
Hey John, every time you interrupt somebody, John, you gotta send $50.
I already said 150. But look, I think the mood of conversation wrong. What we're really, if I can really, explain something to you guys. Earlier, I explained to you, none of you guys make any money from other black people. So now I have another question for you.
Oh, I do.
Okay,
that's one. Okay, well, let's not get. I don't want to derail. But here's the question I have for you. In the past couple of days, let's say in the past 5 days, how much money have you spent with black people?
I answer that money. If you tie it back into the question of the topic of the panel.
Yeah, I'm just curious to know.
And then we got Marvelous Opinion after that.
Yeah, I'm just curious to know. If you don't mind answering the question, how much money you spent with black people in the last 5? Now, I'm not talking about super chats or cash apps and like that. I'm talking about for physical goods and services, plumbers, electricians, whatever. Whoever wants to answer, I'm curious.
I just had a huge snowstorm and I had nothing but black kids shoveling snow.
Okay, yeah, shoveling snow. Anyone else?
Make sure you cut that grass too. Then you know what I'm saying?
Anybody else?
Cut that grass.
All right, ain't nobody cutting grass right now, but anything else?
Yes, I actually and these interactions with you, John, I'm going to refer to henceforth and forevermore as correct-a-coon moments. This correct-a-coon moment is being brought to you by the family secret, all natural.
Keep it still. There it
is. Cool enough for you.
I make this butter.
I'm not okay, I got you. So did you sell any of that? The question was, how much money have you spent with black people in the last, say, week or so? What's your answer to that? I didn't ask you for an advertisement. Just give me a number.
Well, it's feminine to talk pockets.
Okay, if you don't want to answer, that's fine.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try if I can do it. Can I answer your question uninterrupted?
I want you to be feminine. I want you to be feminine.
All right, well, hey man, it's your. I can leave the shit. I can leave you ignorant. It doesn't matter to me.
So I don't want you to be feminine.
Okay, yeah, we'll leave it alone. Next question.
John, let me ask you a question, John. John, hold on, John. So, John, because you're derailing the whole show right now. So let me ask you a question. What does that have to do with the price of tea in China?
Okay, I'm going to explain.
Asking us who spent money with black people.
I'm going to explain to you. I'm going to explain.
Okay, go ahead. You got 2 minutes, and then we're going to go up to Marvelous. You got 2 minutes. Go. Start now.
Today, I spent $275.
Alexa.
With young blacks that most of you people, as you clearly say, most of you probably don't live in the ghettos or anything like that. There was a snowstorm. And here in DC, the young blacks out here trying to compete with the Hispanics, they don't really compete with them, but I hired the young blacks anyway. I can show you pictures on my channel if you want to see them. You probably wouldn't hire them. You probably wouldn't want them on your property, but I hired them nonetheless, you know. And that's the black ecosystem that most blacks have canceled themselves out of. And so the only thing they could buy from blacks is some grease to put in their hair, or some oil, or palm oil, or something to put on their body. But the physical services down on the street, cut my grass, move my furniture from this place to the next place, the blacks have canceled it out. To a man, the only people that were more or less doing snow removal in DC area, the whole DMV, millions of people, were Hispanics. But I found some blacks and hired them anyway. And I documented it on my channel. And this is what I'm saying.
I thought you were going to get into the point of...
Listen, how many of you blacks hired some blacks to shovel your snow?
Bro, listen, real talk, I thought you was going to get into if you were working for yourself or had your own businesses, then you could be yourself. You wouldn't have to code switch because you're dealing with your people predominantly. Proximity allows you. Proximity allows you. Hold on, brother. This ain't show and tell night. I don't want to see nothing. I want to talk. I want to talk what we talking on.
Hold on.
I'm an old young guy, so I want people to get to the point. Yeah, I want people to get to the point about what you're talking about. My brain started.
Let me get to the point.
John, hold on, John, your 2 minutes up. Creator, go ahead. No, John, I'm sorry, Creator. Hold on, Creator. I'm gonna let you cook. Welcome, Angry Man, to the channel, man. What's going on, my brother? We got Marvelous Opinion in the building. Creator, I'm gonna let you go right after Marvelous. Then we're gonna get Angry Man in here. Go ahead, Marvelous.
Hey, what's going on, panel? Good to see y'all guys. Been a while. Thanks for having the show. Shoot, man, the conversation kind of went left and right. But as far as code switching goes, the one I came up here because you talked about identity, and you said, when do you lose your identity? I think that people don't understand when it comes to them, you're never done. Meaning you're never done evolving, you're never done changing. There's always gonna be something different about you. So get out your mind that this is who I am. No, you're still alive. Who you are will be set in stone when you're done. Okay, that's how I look at life. So there is no true identity. If you say you have an identity, then you just put limitations on yourself. If you say I'm a rocket man or I'm a president, okay, that's all you is. But you could have been more. But you decided to say this is who I am. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing like when I work out, right? I go to the gym. People say, "Oh, what's your numbers? What you putting up?" I tell them I got no number. What you mean? When I go to the gym, there is no numbers. I'm unlimited. I'm completely unlimited to what I want to do when I go to the gym. That's my mindset. I'm going there, do what I gotta do, and that's it. I don't have to please my ego, compare stats, none of that stuff. Do what you gotta do, focus on that, and do it. When you go in there with your mental, you only put limitations on yourself, like anything else. So just go in there, pick it up, learn something new as you're in there developing, because you're not going to do the same repetitive thing in the gym. You're going in there to grow, to learn. Same thing as you as an individual. When it comes to who you are, you're growing, you're learning. You're not going to stop at just being the president or the father or whatever label you put yourself. That's pretty much why I came into the conversation when I talked about identity and code switching. But y'all pretty much got code switching down pat when it comes down to adapting to the situation, because like how I would talk to Angry Man versus how I would talk to Hamp, how I would talk to Uncle Jeff. Everyone is pen. I'm gonna talk to y'all very differently depending on your mannerisms, how you talk, how you approach, how you dress, all that. So we all gonna adapt and play off each other anyway, just courtesy. Otherwise, you could be disrespectful or ignorant, one of the two. You know
Marvelous. Have you ever caught yourself code switching maybe between a different gym?
I would say, yeah, you could kind of say so, because some gyms don't have certain things for me.
Right.
So I'm going to do certain things that I want to do in other gyms because they don't have the equipment or the space. So I'm going to switch up my dynamics or even my expectations when I go into certain places. I'm like, oh, they're not going to probably cater to me the way this gym would, or even the staff, or even the food. It's just different expectations change up. So yeah.
What about gyms with white women in them? Don't that make you code switch?
No, I don't care about people in the gym. I will say this though, women in general, in comparison to just like when a woman goes in the gym, this every man I can speak for here. I already know. When a girl comes into the gym, are you not going to lift heavier? I'm just saying, like
no, no.
Hey, you're right.
That's that's right there. I wanted to co-sign what you were saying, young man. I wanted to co-sign it. What he was saying earlier about going to I just kind of got back in the gym. But what he was saying earlier is the truth. Most people injure themselves with their ego in the gym. It's usually your ego that gets you hurt. And then he just put the dot on the I. When the girl come in here, don't you lift heavier. That's how you tell your pet.
I got FOMO. She ready to walk over here. I got FOMO.
Okay, y'all, come on. Hey, put 2 more up there.
Yeah, so
real
quick, man, I want to
throw your damn bicep off the bone.
Yeah.
Marvelous got me out hype and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm hyped. And then here she come. Like,
now you gonna put in an extra set. Fuck your set off. Yeah.
Right, now we got Angry Man in the building, man. I want to get him in. Angry Man, what's going on, my brother? What are your thoughts? I know you've been watching and balling over there, stirring the gumbo, so it's time to serve it. Go ahead, brother.
What's good? Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we hear you good.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
1 2 1 2.
So there's no such thing as code switching. Doesn't exist. What you niggas is doing is when you go somewhere where it matters, you're speaking the way you speak as an educated man. When you're hanging around your homies and all of that shit, you're speaking lazily. That's all you're doing. It's not code switching. Because at the end of the day, whenever you hear somebody saying, oh, you're talking white, you're actually not talking white. You're either talking educated or you're speaking uneducated. The only problem is niggas in the hood associate education with white people and ignorance with black people. So anytime you hear a nigga talking ignorant, you're like, oh yeah, he using slang, he using, that's our lingo, that's the way we speak. And you don't even realize that's the language of poor European whites.
Thank
you. So if you want to try to say you're speaking white when you're speaking in an educated manner, you're also speaking white when you speak in an uneducated manner, if you want to put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But in my opinion, you're either doing one of the two. You're either speaking educated or you're speaking uneducated.
Angry man, like you said, or proper or lazy. That's another fair back and forth, right?
No, I don't like the proper. That's why I like when he said educated or uneducated, because it takes away saying that it's either proper or non-proper, right? So that it takes it beyond culture as well. It's because it don't matter what culture you from, you either speaking with some sense or you speaking like you don't have no sense. And so, however I communicate that, whatever culture that is, you're gonna identify. If I pull up in your hut village, and you may not understand what I'm saying, but if I'm moving some type of way, or if I'm moving my eyebrows and I'm, and any man's gonna feel, I don't know what he's saying, but we getting ready to spear this sucker here. You know what I'm saying? That's communication. So we either speaking educated, I like that, either educated or uneducated. Just simple to the point.
If the small difference in between me having a successful negotiation is in the manner in which I speak, guess what I'm gonna sound like? I'm gonna sound like Carlton from Fresh Prince. If that means that I'm gonna
look, here's the thing. Here's the thing. When you go
like I'm the most educated man on the planet, then that's exactly what I'll do.
Here's the thing.
And vice versa. If the deal needs that I need to relate back to my DC roots, so that me and him can relate, that I can build that rapport with him, and I'll do that too. But I'm gonna do what's necessary to get the deal done. Communication is the only barrier that's stopping me. That's easy work.
And there's the problem right there. The last part that you said. It's the bigotry of low expectations. Just because a black man speaks slang doesn't mean he can't understand you when you speak in educated. That's you're assuming he can't understand you. That is the bigotry of low expectations.
Bruh, I gotta throw a flag on that play.
Go ahead.
Because I think and I'm gonna try to say this as fast and the way it's in my head, I'm trying to get it out. I don't think that speaking in colloquialism implies ignorance. I don't think it I deal with too many slick dudes. I deal with some of the smartest cats I know, the street dudes that I deal with on a regular, that I don't talk like I would speak in other areas.
Then why code switch?
Why code switch?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, number one, there's this old saying that I didn't make up: when in Rome. That's number one. I don't have a problem making the people I'm around feel comfortable, because quiet as it's kept, I'm more comfortable around the niggas than I am around proper people. I just happen to speak English very well, and I make my living writing words.
Can I chime in? Can I ask a question? Yeah. Do you live around?
Can we stop you?
Well, Jeff, you say you're comfortable around the blacks. I ain't gonna say the word you said, but do you live around the blacks?
Do I live around black people?
Like you live in? Yeah, I'm asking.
It depends.
Like, what is
I don't live in one residence.
Of your neighborhood? What's it?
I'll answer that. One of my residences is
I'm talking about where you live. Yeah, where you live.
I live in. Well, I'm trying to answer you. I'm gonna try one more time, and then I'll leave you ignorant. I have 2 homes in Southern California.
Okay.
One of them, there are very few black people around.
Okay.
The other one, you leave your house one way, it's people walking small dogs. You leave the other way, it's helicopters and police.
Why is that?
What is the demographics though of that neighborhood? What would you say is the percentage of blacks and whites?
What's that?
What would you say is the percentage of blacks and whites in each of those neighborhoods?
It doesn't matter.
Listen, angry man, we're here.
I hear you, angry man. I don't.
Go ahead, angry man. Go ahead, angry
I don't know.
Black man, can I respond to angry man?
I've been on numerous panels with John, and every single time that comes up, do you live around black people? Why is that relevant? Why the hell would a black person need to live around black people to understand black people if he's already black?
Well, can I answer that? What I've been explaining to you is
dumbass.
Today, I hired some young black men that most people probably would never hire. I paid them, I don't know, $270 to shovel my snow. They had to compete with Hispanics, and I hired them nevertheless. I can show you pictures of them. It's on my Twitter if you like.
Do you think this is the first time you told us this?
Am I in Groundhog Day?
I'm only interrupting you.
I'm not bragging.
Interrupting you
But what I'm
because you're
saying is,
repeating
what I'm saying
yourself.
is, hold on.
You're repeating yourself.
Hold on.
That's the only reason I'm interrupting.
Come on, Jeff, give me a few minutes. I'm about to leave.
First time we heard
Hold
this.
on, Jeff, give me a few minutes. I'll let you talk.
No, you're interrupting. I'm interrupting you. I'm being rude. I'm interrupting you because you're repeating yourself. You're repeating yourself.
Well, I was about to say this, Jeff, and I won't.
Is it new? Is it new?
Yes.
Okay.
So earlier, I made the point, and all of the blacks up here on the panel, all the people up here on the panel said that they don't make any money from black people. Now I'm drawing it full circle to show that I would bet that most of the black people up here on the panel don't spend a lot of money with black people other than super chats and Venmo and Cash.
You're absolutely right. We don't.
Why do you interrupt me? Because I promise you I won't interrupt you. And so this,
you can stop it.
How would you know that?
Damn, he keeps interrupting me. You know what, guys? It has been my pleasure, man. And I'll come back again when you don't have this like slightly homosexual like guy Jeff on the panel.
This nigga's a homosexual.
The problem with shot at me. Hold on for a second.
Go back to him.
Hold on for a second.
No, that last shot was at me.
Hold on for a second, because he threw a shot at me. So number one, John Gold, because I know you're still watching. You are by far one of the most ass ignorant niggas I've ever met in my damn life.
Ever.
You think that you're supposed to get a goddamn cookie because you paid some black boys to shovel your damn snow. For most of us, that's just some normal shit. You may have paid somebody black to do this. You may have paid somebody Latin to do this. Nobody's keeping score but your black ass. And what I find interesting is it's always a super dark-skinned nigga like you that seems to hate black people more than anybody on the damn planet. Talking about how much money do y'all spend with black people? Nigga, are you serious? Do you live around black people? I got a neighbor that's a black man. I got a few neighbors that's black. I got one neighbor across the street that drives the same damn car that I drive. Guess what, John Galt? We're not in 1950, nigga.
Hey, chill out, angry man. You starting to sound like the white folk talking about. I got a couple black.
Who the hell is this nigga you feel the need to entertain? No, I had to say it that way because he always makes the assumption that black folk on YouTube that got a little bit of money lives around nothing but white people.
Hey,
okay,
as if black people don't have no money.
Jeff, I paid $275, Jeff.
Now,
even with the Mexican.
Now, are we just gonna high hurdle the last thing if we're willing to high hurdle the last thing he said?
Go ahead and defend yourself, man. I don't think you have.
Yes, let's high hurdle, Uncle.
Yeah, let's high hurdle.
Yeah, bro, high hurdle that, man. High hurdle that, man. It ain't worth it, bro.
I want to make
no rocket fuel, bro.
We talking about
I would never be insulted. I would never be insulted by a dude calling me a homosexual that drank Steel Reserve, Miller High Life, or any of that other bullshit.
That shit lame as fuck.
I'm not insulted by it. I'm not insulted by it. What is odd is that angry man said, dude took a shot at me, let me respond. This nigga ran out and left a grenade. And you niggas unanimously. Okay. Okay, I'm that aside. Let's take good look at this panel. Here's John Galt's problem. It's the same problem as that other. He looks like a struck match. What's his name? Little ant-looking dude.
Yeah.
Chaotic Truth. I hope you see this. It's them. Take a good look at this panel. This panel is made up of. This panel is comprised of the dudes that these kind of dudes, when they were in high school, would take 2 months of confidence waiting on the dance to ask this girl to dance. And this panel is made up of the niggas who will walk up and take her and go out in the parking lot and bang her in the car. That's the problem. Is the level of dude. When you look at these dudes that's always mad at women, these dudes that's always mad at black people, they follow a certain pattern. They wore brown socks to gym class. They was them dudes. Take a look real close at them. Take a good look. It's always gonna be that. It's always gonna be that dude that got something to say about your sexuality a lot, and I get that a lot from cats. But if there's anything about me that make you think that, then that's something you need to work out with your therapist. That don't have nothing to do with me. I'm what I'm really getting at.
You on deck, Trey?
Take a look at the dudes that swim upstream of the common thinking of this room. Take a good look at it.
All right, Trey, go ahead, Trey.
Anytime a man makes a homosexual comment or an insult, it's a low IQ response. It's not that he has nothing else left in the tank. So that's literally the last thing he's got. But I do want to make the point that this guy John, it's my first time dealing with him, so I've never dealt with him before. But this is a perfect example of how I would code switch. Let's just hypothetically say he wanted to wrap up his real estate and put it up for sale. There's no need to have an intellectual, educated conversation with him. It's not necessary to get the negotiation done. I can bring him a bottle of liquor and some cigarettes, and we can probably hash it out. That's the difference. That's what I'm saying. Like this whole code switching thing, in most cases, is just an ability to adapt to the surrounding to be able to get whatever you need to get done to accomplish the mission, to accomplish the goal. And for this particular case, he is exactly what I'm talking about. I cannot have the same conversation I would versus if I was trying to buy an apartment building from an established, realtor, or real estate investor who owns multiple apartments and carries himself in a much different manner. Who wouldn't be able to handle Trump?
Trey,
that's the difference.
Trey, here's the thing, bro. I disagree, and I'm gonna tell you why I disagree.
Okay, angry man, let's go.
Because of the fact that you quite possibly can pass the paper bag test. You need to make sure you talk to John Galt as an educated man so that you can confirm for him his mythical inferiority complex that he's dealing with. Because to do anything else would confuse him. Okay? He needs to know, he wants to understand that anything that is 2 shades lighter than a paper bag must be superior to his black ass, because every time he gets on a panel, he makes it a point to talk about the blacks as if his ass ain't as black as a damn tar.
So I hear the point. I don't hear that. I hear y'all like having to switch up. So sometimes y'all be the people that cause people like me and even John to have to go off on our own, because when we come to y'all and y'all got the game or y'all got the opportunity, y'all the ones that tell us no because I'm talking the way I'm talking, right? And if you came to me and I'm talking the way I'm talking with a pack of squares and some beer, you just lost my business. Because it don't matter how I act, I'm hiring you.
Respectfully, creator, you haven't
bro.
come up here once and been condescending about black people.
Angry man, bro. Angry man.
I
But I hear what he trying to. I think I know what he's trying to do. It's not coming out properly, but I think I know where he's going.
And that's because he's drunk and high, creator, not really a good image, right?
You've been on
I can't take that energy, bro. I cannot. I
I'm
don't want to hear that shit.
I'm the same guy.
You might be spitting the whole game, but because of the way it's slurred and
so he's not.
He's not. Anyway, I'm gonna say the only reason I came back up, Anger Man. Look, I didn't shoot no arrow at you.
Right
Jeff, I want to apologize. I want to apologize for saying that to you. And so that's the only reason I came back up, bro. I ain't got no problem with you, Anger Man. I ain't got no problem with you, Jeff. The point I'm trying to make is like, as I started off with the whole gross margin thing, it may not apply to all of you, may not apply to any of you, but for some of you, you know, again, I'm down here on the street level. I make a lot of money with black people. And I think that a lot of black people.
Do they know how you feel about them?
Well, let me finish it, because it's not about how I feel about black people. Because, like, bro, I do a lot of business with black people going and coming. And I think that for a lot of the black people, yeah, I'm black. Yeah, I'm black through and through. So we don't have to debate that. But I'm just saying that, like, for a lot of us, I think we will find it a lot easier doing business with black people than white people. Now, where we find our lane to do that, I found my lane as a landlord. You may find your lane as whatever, a liquor store or whatever. And Anger Man, again, I ain't taking no exception to you calling me super black, whatever. I don't have a problem with that. I ain't got no problem with my complexion.
You
but
should.
I'm just
yeah, you do.
I'm just
you do.
No, I don't. I promise. I haven't even mentioned. Anger Man, bro. I haven't even mentioned complexion. Anger Man, let's be honest. Come on, bro. Anger Man, let's be straight, bro. Anger Man, I didn't mention your complexion the whole time I came up here. I don't have no problem with no light-skinned black people. I got light-skinned black people in my family.
Okay, Anger Man, go ahead and respond. Go ahead.
Let's not get this twisted so that you understand me. The whole reason I brought that up is because you shouldn't have a problem with your complexion. That's why I brought it up. You feel what I'm saying? But when you speak about blacks the way you do, first of all, when you say the blacks instead of black people, even that alone, and you know what you're doing when you do it. You feel what I'm saying? When you say the blacks instead of black people, you're implying certain things. I know what you're implying.
Nah, you're taking it the wrong way.
No, I'm not. No,
because I don't mention race. Because again, you know, Anger Man, like what I'm saying,
the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. For a nigga slap fire out.
I don't mention color. Like I've been up here an hour or so. I ain't mention no color like light skin, blacks or dark. I ain't mention that. I didn't mention that. You didn't hear me mention
John, you said the blacks, bro. You keep saying the blacks.
That's everybody. That includes the light skin and the dark skin. I didn't mention light skin versus dark skin. You got a lot of memes and shit. I didn't light skin.
Appreciate the nuance, you know.
I didn't say that. Right?
You said the black. Okay, go ahead. Anger Man, you got
black.
Uncle Jeff, go ahead.
I'm confused, John, as to if you understand, which you seem to, that as black men, as black people, we can all rally around the term the blacks being taken as derogatory.
What's wrong with it?
Let's just say that there's nothing wrong with it, but we think it is.
You black? Do you think you're black?
I think I'm trying to make a point, and I think you're interrupting me.
Because
I don't care what you're asking me because it's not your turn to speak.
Go ahead. You make a little point. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Again, I need you to tell me why it is, if as a consensus of black men, and at least I respect these brothers here. I think we're all intelligent here. If we can all come to an agreement that the blacks as a term is derogatory, well, I need you to A, tell us why it is that you insist upon, premeditate. Know you finna say that shit before you say it. Do that with us. And B, Could you frame it in the warm, wonderful, positive way you mean, other than black people? Go.
Just tell me what you would like me to say, and I'll use that word.
Respectfully, let me get in here real quick. I'll tell you what it is, man.
Just tell me what you would like me to say, and I'll never use the word blacks again. I use the word you like.
I'm gonna let you know what it is, all right? When you say that, you're speaking in third person. And it's like it's like you're disincluding yourself from us, talking about us at the same time.
I got you. Look different when you get pulled over.
Hey, you know what? Hey, I like your answer. I think that's legitimate. But I always say, I am that nigga. I'm black as hell. I'm black as hell.
I sincerely hope.
You out of your fucking mind? Are you crazy?
I got a
better answer. Blacks. None of you other people live around blacks.
Real quick, angry man, if I could. It would hurt my heart to know. It would hurt my heart to know, John, that you miss the vitriol I have for you. I hope you understand that I would unplug your life support to charge myself up. I really want to make that clear.
Okay,
please, great. God, let me not miss you with all the vitriol, sarcasm, underhandedness.
Okay,
whenever I come at you, please know it is either something foul to say or something to point out your accurate foulness.
Gotcha. All right.
All right.
See, this is what I'm saying. This is like
I'm sorry, angry man. Go right ahead.
This is like woman like behavior, but go right ahead.
I got a better answer that cuts through all the bullshit. The reason why you saying the blacks is problematic is because that's some white people shit, bro.
How about it?
Let's cut it out. Let's cut it out. That's what white people. The first time you ever heard that, you heard it from somebody white. So let's cut that goofy shit out, bro. We know the culture. Everybody up here's from the culture. We understand all of this shit. Let's stop playing these goofy ass games and acting like we don't know that that's
but
what.
Angry man, don't I get a little slack because I'm the only one? The angry man, don't I get a little slack because I'm the only one that lives and make money and spend money?
No,
absolutely not.
No.
Fair enough. All right.
You get more. Hold on, no.
Because you should know better.
Look, you get more ridicule simply because of how black your ass is.
I do, yeah.
You understand that? Like let's be real, bro.
Are you saying I'm too black? Are you saying
no,
I'm like
what I'm saying is, as black as you are, you should know better.
I'm a nigga.
Wait a minute.
I'm a real nigga.
Also,
I'm a real nigga. Are you saying like I'm a real nigga type nigga? Are you saying that I'm like a black ass
from the
You call me super black early. You call me super black early. And I'm like am I like a super black ass nigga to you? Am I like a super black ass nigga to you?
Burn every ounce of those.
No, you call me a super black. You call me a super.
Your flat Pillsbury biscuit pink pudding pop. Go get your flat-assed Pillsbury dough biscuit pink Pop-Tart and get your ass up off my live.
If you want me to leave, I ain't got no problem. But if you want me to leave, I ain't got no problem. Man. You just tell me, hey, John, you can leave. You want me to leave? You want me to leave? Hey, no. Let my man. You want me to leave, my man? You just put it.
Check this out.
You want me to leave?
Check this out.
No, Angry Man got to respond to you. I'm trying to get you to be quiet so Angry Man can respond to you.
Because you just said Tariq Nasheed, whoever it was.
John Go. You have me mistaken. I think you may mistake me for being a light-skinned nigga with a family full of light-skinned niggas. Because no,
I've never said the word light-skinned the whole time.
I got plenty of family members. I got plenty of family members that's just as dark, if not darker than you, and they full of shit too.
You bringing up complexion, bro. I never mentioned complexion the whole time I've been here. Why do you keep bringing up complexion? Why do you keep
I need to bring it up.
I need you to answer this. Why do you keep bringing up my complexion? But I never mentioned your complexion. One time, you call me a super black ass nigga. I never. You call me a super black. Yeah, bro, you call me a super black nigga. I never even mentioned complexion. One time on this panel, you call me super black. And I don't even consider myself super black. Hold on. Angry man. Hold on. I ain't offended. But I'm just curious to know why I'm not offended. I don't even consider myself super black. My children's mother is super black because she's African. But I'm just wondering, like, and I don't have a problem with it. Again, my lady is African from Ghana. She's super black. The one that you might call super black. But why did you feel the need to bring up complexion? I didn't bring up complexion. I didn't say anything about light skin, dark skin, nothing.
You want me to ask a question?
Yeah, why did you call me super black?
Because you are too black to be acting the way you acting. That's why. That's why. And if you from the culture, you know exactly what the hell I mean.
Do you think I'm super black?
What I mean.
I got you. Okay, let's have a back and forth, Anger Man. Do you think I'm super black? And what does it have to do with it?
What it has to do with is you acting like Uncle Ruckus. You acting like you're a white man.
No. But why do you, no. I get that. But why did you call me? But there are probably a lot of people in the chat that are damn near.
Why are you offended, nigga?
No, I'm asking you the question. I'm not offended because I love my complexion.
Why are you offended?
My woman is darker than me, so you know I ain't.
Why are you offended?
My woman is darker than me, so you know I ain't offended.
Why are you offended? Because
I'm
you're
not offended.
obviously triggered right now.
No, I'm not triggered, but I'm just wondering why would you call me super black? That's just interesting because I didn't mention complexion at all. I didn't mention anyone. Am I super black to you? Okay, that's fine. I just want to hear you say it. I don't have a problem with it. I love it. Hey, man, it's never been a problem for me. Women have never said, "Hey, man,
I have a problem with you, John, that has nothing to do with your complexion.
I don't have a problem with you having a problem because as long as
I have a problem with you that has nothing to do with your complexion.
No, hold on. Don't bail out Angry Man here.
I'm not. I'll wait my turn.
Right,
I'll wait my turn.
Look, I didn't mention. Right, I didn't mention
everybody you have a problem with your blackness.
I didn't. No. You the one that you're the only one that mentioned. You're the only one that mentioned complexion up here. You do know that.
You've been saying the blacks all night.
But I didn't mention light skin versus dark. I didn't mention light skin versus dark skin. You call me a super black, and I'm wondering where that came from.
As long as you were talking about
and
black
you said
people,
I'm super black. That's fine.
It was fine.
Look, I live around blacks. I live around blacks. I work with blacks. So what's the problem?
You offended.
I ain't got no problem. I'm just curious to why you call me super black.
So John, let Angry Man finish first because it's y'all talking over each other. Y'all talking over each other and people can't hear you. So let Angry Man finish. Let Angry Man finish, and then John, you can come back and respond after Angry Man finish. Go ahead, Angry Man.
Or we could change the conversation.
Yeah, we can do that too, Arpane. But right now we're gonna let them finish up first. Let these guys hash it out, then we move on. Go ahead, Angry Man.
And whoever said change the conversation, you ain't gonna bail him out. Because here's the reality.
Right.
The reality is, I got an uncle right now. My father's brother is darker than John Galt, fruit of Islam. I'm former fruit of Islam. And I got a problem when I see a black man sitting here. He can talk about the blacks all day long when he's disassociating himself from the blacks. But the moment I put the blackness on him, now he's offended.
How about that?
Now he's offended because I didn't say nothing was wrong with your blackness. I said what's wrong with you is you too damn black to be acting like that.
All right, that was clear. I'll be trying to hate on that nigga, man. Shit.
All right, now John, you want to respond?
Sometimes, though.
Yeah, is the uncle that you speak of that's darker than me? Do you call him super black to his face?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Same way he called me a yellow ass nigga to my face.
I didn't call you a yellow ass nigga. I didn't call that. I don't do that.
Well, it wouldn't hurt my feelings.
I wouldn't do that, bro, because I got yellow ass people, as you would say. But I don't do that, bro.
What are we talking about, man? Y'all niggas done hugged it out. Let's move on.
Hold on, before I go, Anger Man, before I go, man, bro, I didn't call any name, I ain't catch any aspersion. I ain't catch any aspersion. I don't have a problem with you. Understand? I didn't say anything about you. I didn't say anything about you. And that gay reference that I said, it was directed to Jeff, and I apologize for that. I shouldn't have said that.
Oh, my bad. I thought you was talking to me.
No, I wasn't there, bro. But you know,
Jeff, you next. You can respond.
but I don't do the whole black thing. I deal with blacks of all complexions. I rent to them. You know what I mean? And they're all complexions. The young black men that I hired to shovel my snow, and the reason why I point that out because I chose them over Hispanics.
Bro, don't hire no more blacks because it like I'm like, look, I don't want you to don't hire me. I know that, like, bro, look, good. Because if the only time, like, you know, I get it, but I don't want you to shove it in my face every time you give me.
I'm not shoving. But see, bro, trust me, I'm not shoving in anybody's face. What I'm trying to say is, and I know I'm probably a little bit abrasive, is that this is the black ecosystem that all of us can contribute to push it forward. That young black man that I heard, and you can listen to it on my channel if you're interested. He was 18 years old, young DC man. Most people would not have hired him because they don't trust young blacks.
Do you think that's the first time you said this is a very important question?
Let me finish, Jeff.
This is a very important question that I have to ask right now.
Sure.
Do you think this is the first time that you have said that to us on this night?
Yeah, I've never said it here.
Yes.
I've never been on this.
I'm gonna say this as we starting to get to the end of this thing because John.
Nigga.
I'm gonna ask this question and we're gonna go around, and John, you be the last one. Is it time we retire the phrase "acting white" altogether?
Yes, please do.
I can't say that, Marvelous. I ain't ready to say that.
Go ahead, Craig. We'll start with you first, then Trey, then Uncle Jeff, Warpaint, and so on and so forth. Go ahead,
because to a degree, like I said, when he said speaking educated, then we can now identify. Again, that's when we talking proper. Acting white, you trying to tell somebody what's proper and what ain't. You get what I'm saying? Now you putting white patriarchy over everything, and who set that standard? Now, when we say educated, that means whether you have a degree or not, you should be able to communicate with me in an educated manner, in the manner that we all educated can understand. So whether you ain't got a degree, right, or you don't have a degree, I should comprehend what it is that you're speaking properly on any level, whether I'm on the bottom or the top. So that's what allows, I think what Galt was even trying to say, I don't think he got to it, but I think more so he was trying to say that, listen, I spend with my people, I practice interdependency, right? We got a bunch of independent people that's going to come together, and we're going to practice the economics that our brothers was talking about. I can't forget his name, Dr. Claude Anderson, right? So he's talking about this, and it took a whole bunch of years. I think that was like 40 years ago, and he's been preaching that sermon ever since, but it's still not sticking like glue. So he's saying, hey, I took advantage of spending with black people, and we need to be in our communities and spending with us. And then this kind of that train gets to chug a lugging to where now we set the standard on how we communicate with each other. And that don't mean low level of business or lower morale or any of that. Hood don't mean the suckiest of all suckiness. I don't know why you equate hood with suckiness of all suckiness. That is not what it is. Sucky people come in all forms, facets, and financial statuses. But people that got good morale, right, have good intention, that's what you should identify, and that's what you should invest your energy into, because it will absolutely flourish. That's why a lot of the kids that have to minimize their intelligence, because those of us that are quote unquote intelligent haven't identified them and poured into them, right? Now they're around all the ignorant, you know what I'm saying? And we haven't poured into them. So they don't have really nowhere to reach out to. And therefore they have to conform to or capitulate, quote unquote, to proximity to damn near survive. But yeah, no, that white way of doing things, or you just really trying to act white. And yeah, that is a thing. You should act professional. I believe in acting professional. Absolutely. I believe in being educated. You absolutely should be educated, and you should have a spirit about yourself. That don't necessarily have to be God, but there should be a level of morale that I can judge and that I can see if I want to proceed with you. right? Those are the things that I look at in people, politicians, and everybody else, from granny to the kids, right? And I'm not holding nobody past that, including myself. So I think if we all did that, that'd be cool. Lastly, we're not sharing enough. That's what these panels on here should be for, us sharing, right? How Angry Man does what he does and do what he do. Now, I know he shared that with his people. You get what I'm saying? And probably a lot of us are not looking at those portions. And then Trey spoke on something. Y'all like my brothers now, whether y'all know it or not. You get what I'm saying? And I'll be like that little brother. I'm all on you. I'm on you. You talking and you know ain't nobody listening. I'm the guy that's listening for real, but I gotta act how I act. You understand? So believe me, there are a lot of us's like us out here who's listening. Just speak that proper stuff, man. Don't try to maintain and stay on rhetoric that's actually going to benefit our men, even though you don't think nobody's watching or think nobody's listening. We need that library. We need those books in that library anyway. So I'm gonna applaud that, and we stay true to that right there. My bad if I went too long.
Everybody get one. Yeah, everybody gonna get one. Everybody get what?
I'm gonna be
45 seconds. Go ahead.
I'm gonna be real quick. Look,
Pause.
if talking white means that that they're superior to us, then it needs to be retired. If that's because that's how it's always been given to me growing up, is that, oh, you just trying to sound like white people, as saying that they're superior to us. And if that's the case, then yes, the whole thing needs to be retired. I think we have a communication issue, and I think that sometimes adapting to your atmosphere, adapting to your audience is demonized somehow. And I think most people know that you have to placate to the audience that's standing in front of you, especially if there's something you're trying to get out of them. Now, if you're just having, BS conversation, hanging, cool around a cooler talk, that's different. But in a place of business, in a professional setting, something like that, you're going to have a certain type of vernacular to get what you need out of it. And some people agree with that, some people don't. But I have no problems retiring it, because I won't say that speaking white or acting white, that to me just sounds like, oh, okay, they're superior to us and this is the way you're supposed to act. And I don't necessarily agree with that, because I watch white folk every day where I live at, and they act a complete and total ass every day. I see it all the time.
All right, R. Payne, very quickly, go ahead and get yours out, Uncle Jeff. Everybody just go real quickly so we can get up out of here. Go ahead, R. Payne.
Yeah, I ain't say much tonight because it was good listening to you guys argue back and forth. But talking about acting white, I think we had an opportunity lost when Corey Holcomb and Anton Daniels couldn't have a real conversation. Because talking about being on the two sides of the track, that could have been a good conversation from one who identifies with the hood, and everybody thinks Anton identifies as a white man. And the conversation they could have had could have been interesting. And it went left too fast, so it was an opportunity lost, and I just want to leave that there, because I think that's apropos to what we're talking about here. Now, whether we think each one of those guys are clowns, they could have had a good conversation because they believe what they believe, and that whole dichotomy, the bifurcation of the Black community was embodied in that particular conversation, or it could have been, and they blew it. I'll just land that there. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but I thought they had an opportunity to do something good for everybody as a conversation. And
When have you ever seen a black man and a nigga have a discussion and it don't end like that?
That's what I'm saying. That's what's an opportunity lost.
It always ends like that. It always ends like that.
It was quick though. It was like 5 minutes.
Uncle Jeff, go ahead. Uncle Jeff, go ahead. What's your final thoughts on that?
First I want to co-sign what my man just said, what Brother Payne just said. Number two, I disagree with getting rid of talking white and those phrases, because they clearly identify the cretins who use them. I think it's cubic thinking. Y'all have heard me break down square, cube, tesseract thinker. A cube thinker will accept new information in only if it fits what he already has. I think the throwing out of this language stops you from from taking the position that all information, no matter how small, is power. So if I know that you use this terminology, I already know what wavelength you're on. I know you just told me about the closest 5 niggas around you. So I am not going to throw that out, but I'm on some Jedi shit. Get on some Jedi shit is what I'm saying.
All right.
So you're saying defense real quick. You kind of using it as defense, if you will. It's
Absolutely.
information.
Or as offense, as information.
It's information though.
It's
That's number
fluid.
one.
It's for what I need it for.
All right,
I'm not going to throw it out as in, no, I won't. I'll put that in my back pocket. I'm going to use that later.
All right, go ahead, Tyrus.
BMU, I don't know. Right now, the terminology, a lot of this stuff is like a lot of other things. It's open to interpretation. Everybody has different definitions. And this is just 10 men amongst many that's going to have their own interpretations of what we're talking about. I might have actually leaned one way, maybe to getting rid of it prior to this panel. But after listening tonight and like just taking it in good faith, I don't know.
All right, appreciate you, brother. Marvelous.
Yeah, I say get rid of it because I look at the mindset that created that, and I don't like it. There was a Chinese man who once said he'll never understand why whites or why blacks tend to want to be in the shadows of whites. Everything we got to do is in contrast and comparison to them, and it's sickening. I'm tired of us having to prove that we're one way and they're another way. It shows that we're insecure. We don't know ourselves. We don't trust ourselves. And it shows in everything we do when we communicate. It's all like projection. And we're doing too much trying to protect the name of, but then we just can't be of ourselves. Trying to really identify who we are. And then even when it comes to just saying that, it's like no real it's like it's not even supposed to be no shame in it. It's supposed to be just like, yo, like someone tells me you acting white, whatever. I was just like, okay, yeah, it's like to Jeff's point. I can just counter that and be like, okay, I understand your mindset, but I understand that mindset is weak. Because why are you comparing yourself to white people in the first place? That's why I personally would like to get rid of it, because I don't want the mindset to exist. That's why I say get rid of it, because I don't want the mindset to exist. But I understand Jeff, because it's going to automatically, because I can't just snap a finger like Thanos and just get rid of it. But if you gave me a choice, yeah, I'll get rid of it straight up.
I would love to have that conversation with you. You can.
Yeah. Angry man. Should we just abolish acting white altogether?
Well, I mean, it's for one, it's ignorant because we're all in the same culture, the overall culture. You know, we're all Americans. So we all have certain commonalities that we do as Americans, both black and white. Now, of course, we have our subcultures. You feel what I'm saying? Where you have white people got their little subculture and we got our little subculture. You feel me? Where there's some nuance. You know what I'm saying? Like I may not like Coldplay. You feel what I'm saying? But then there's some brothers that do like it. You feel me? So we have our little nuances. So for me, I just find I feel like the whole concept of, oh, you acting white, that is to me, that's black desperation. That's black people trying their best to, because we've spent a lot of time in this country trying to forge our own identity that is separate from white people. And so because we've been trying to forge that identity, we lash out on some, why you acting white, or that's some white people shit or whatever, right? So it's just us, in my opinion, it's trauma. It's us lashing out because we know what our history is in this country. We know what was taken from us. You feel me? But we also have to understand that when you do things out of trauma, when you do things lashing out, it's a reaction. You feel what I'm saying? It's not, it may not be the best thing to be doing. What we have to recognize as black people is that we do have culture. We have a rich culture here in America. We don't even got to go all the way back to Africa for it. You feel what I'm saying? So telling a brother that he sounds white or he's acting white because he speaks in an educated manner, to me, that's a slap in the face to all our forebearers that fought so hard for education. You feel me? Because let's be real, we have a lot of black folk all throughout history in this country that were extremely educated, that were extremely articulate. You feel what I'm saying? And could speak extremely well and had no problem in academia or any of those spaces. So to me, saying somebody sounds white, that's insulting to people. Like, look at all the people we have. Look at the James Baldwins. Look at the Thomas Souls. Look at all of the brothers we have that are extremely articulate. They don't have to speak slang. They don't want to. You know what I'm saying? And we still understand what they're saying. I think the other part of it, and I'll close with this, I think the other part of it is that we also engage in the bigotry of low expectations. Because just because brothers in the hood speak with slang and do all of that, it doesn't mean we don't understand when a brother is speaking more articulately. We understand that too. You feel me? And that's why I said I'm not gonna code with. I'm gonna talk to brothers the way I normally talk, the way I talk to anybody. And if I say a word a brother don't understand, I'm gonna tell his ass to look it up. Like, real shit. Like, we got to stop expecting brothers to be down here. You feel what I'm saying? They can understand. They ain't got no problem understanding.
All right, John. Very briefly, if you can, sir. Should we get rid of acting white altogether? Saying that phrase. What do you think?
I think the only way to get rid of it is that they have to deal with their own people where they can speak in their colloquial language that's comfortable. Again, I talk to black people on the level that they're comfortable with. And it's not all that proper language. And I deal with regular black people. And when I deal with these regular black people on a regular level, they're not speaking the King's English. Now, maybe they go in their job and do that. But when they come and deal with me, they say, I'm so happy you're a black man. I just want to speak regular to you. And I think that for me, I'm telling you, I got it on my channel, so you don't have to take my word for it. And so I think for many black people, they live almost like two lives. They go to work, yes, sir, no, sir, speak proper English and language, no double negatives and all those things. And then when they come back in the hood, what up, mine now? And I ain't done nothing yet, and it get back to the normal black lingo. And I think that's what they're most comfortable with. The smarter ones are able to go up in the white man world and then come back in the black world and code switch. But for most of them, I don't think they're comfortable doing that. And I think that if we could build an ecosystem for them to speak their language, their comfortable language, I think it'd be best off.
All right. How much did you pay?
We got 3 minutes. Hold on. We get him next week. 3 shit. Don't ask him nothing. Lost in translation. We got 3 minutes left, bro. What are your thoughts? And I'll give mine. I'll read these super chats and we'll be out of here.
All right, I'm gonna wrap this up. Thousands of years ago, navigators used the stars as a method to track where they are. Okay, and I think that we should get rid of the notion that we're talking white. I think all of us are brilliant in our own way, just like those stars. If the pole star didn't shine as bright as it did because it felt like it was being outshined by the Big Dipper, then those navigators wouldn't have a way to navigate and find their ways across the ocean. So I think that there's always room enough for all of us to shine as brightly as possible to let everybody know that we're just as brilliant. What would the universe look like if all the stars didn't shine in concert? I think if God had the eternal wisdom to make sure that the stars shine bright, then I don't think that we should step away from being our creator as dimming our light as well. So I think that we should get rid of that. And I think we all should shine just as bright as those stars, just like God intended us to be.
All right, man, I appreciate it. Hey, listen, man, I want to thank everybody. Angry Man, Tyrus, our pain creator, man, marvelous opinion. John Gold, everybody that came tonight, Philosophical, man, thank you so much for coming in tonight and giving your word as well, man. Uncle Jeff, everybody that came to contribute to the channel, I appreciate it. We're here every Tuesday. Next week, we talking colorism. So y'all share your shit. Y'all already got into it tonight. But to colorism. But colorism next week. I'm here every Tuesday. The link will be in the chat if you guys want to pull up every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on the Black Men Unfiltered Network. I want to get these super chats out real quick. Give me just a second. We got where did I stop at? Anton, okay. We got he said associating speaking proper English with colonizers and ass backwards theory. You have blacks that have been code switching before term existed. Mr. Bennett said, respect to all you brothers, 999. Appreciate that. Prince Antoine said, code switchers is not acting like the colonizers. It's knowing how to adapt to your surroundings and environment with no hesitation. And he came back again with a $10 super chat and said, being in the military, we have our own variation of English language that 99% you will never understand. All right, I appreciate you, brother, for that. Again, every Tuesday. So creative, if you want to come back next week, man, come back next Tuesday. We're talking colorism. Marvelous, you already know all y'all are welcome. John, you welcome back as well, because I think that anytime we have a conversation, both parties don't have to always agree, and everybody needs to have that conversation. So I appreciate you guys, man. It's been real, and we about to be about this thing, man. Appreciate y'all. We see y'all. Oh, we got another one. Prince Antoine said, colonizers are not standard barriers. I didn't even see that. My bad.
Standard bearers. Yeah, they don't bear the standards.
Mm-hmm. And Prince said, Antoine said, get this train back on the tracks. And then we got Jamie. Thank you, Jamie. 6072 with the $10 super chat, man. I appreciate you, sweetheart. All right, y'all have a great night, man. We are out of here.
Hold on, brother, real quick before they go. Now, look, y'all, I'm trying to build. Y'all don't act like you suckers ain't seen me. So if you could go to @Apex Archetype and subscribe. I think I got like 2 subscribers. I'm trying to get it to at least 3. So I think with I can get it.
Absolutely.
Like, you know what I'm saying? We can divide it up into quarters, however we need to make it happen.
and look, and come back next Tuesday, man, and we'll promote your show, bro, because we all about helping our brothers. So if you want to come back next Tuesday,
I don't have no show. I'm just trying to build, and we have this conversation more so than anything. And, I can direct my people to these conversations that we having, right? So that when I'm having these conversations, the proof is the conversation that I'm already having with people. You know what I'm saying? You can't, it's hard. You can't challenge me when we already having these debates with other grown ass men. You understand? So that's what my head is.
Come back next Tuesday, bro. Anything you want to promote, man. Anybody up here on the panel want to promote? We're gonna talk colorism because Tyrese, look at me and look at Tyrese. We got to have this conversation. All right, man. We'll see y'all next week. We out. Peace.
Yeah. Chest thumping, boom like a baseline pound. King Kong stepping, make the whole earth bow. Banana clip.